alive, and everybody's in the right place, and audio's okay, and we have coffee,
Are these
and
statements or
So good.
questions?
I just dropped all of my frames.
There it is.
There it is.
Pick them up.
Are we on the internet? I hope so.
Pretty sure we're on the internet.
I'm pretty sure we're on the internet.
Well, hello everybody, and good morning, and welcome to another episode of Morning Ritual. I am one of your hosts that sounds far more awake than I actually am. No more. I go by he, they. First and foremost, thank you to our patrons for supporting our show, making it happen. And I'm gonna toss it right on over to my second or the second host, Anita.
Yes, hello, I'm Anita. My pronouns are she, they. And hopefully y'all are seeing us not too terribly choppy. Worst case scenario, the VOD will be is recording on my machine right now, so we'll have
All
a
right.
very smooth version of it later on.
All right, look here. Give us 1 second. We're gonna go back to break real quick, and I'm just gonna do a quick run around and see what might be causing us to have these frame issues.
It looks like it's smoothed out again at
Oh,
6,000.
well,
So
there we go.
okay, fingers crossed. We're okay. Chat, if you can let us know, that would be lovely. And we've got an amazing guest. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, hey, how's it going? I'm Liz. You might see me as the TheMoulinRogue in places, tilting at windmills on the internet. Thanks for having me on this morning, guys. This is super exciting. I think this is probably the first time that we've talked well, not in person, but online.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, super excited to be here this morning on a kind of gray Saturday in Philly.
Yeah, every time we wind up going to Philly for PAX or PAX Unplugged, I always wind up missing you, and I'm just like, ha! One day.
Yeah, yeah. I flit. And crowds. I just kind of weave and retreat. But yeah, no, 1 year for sure.
Can I make a confession?
Please.
It is only now that I realized that your name was Moulin Rogue.
There it is.
Because I don't know how to spell rouge.
I had this conversation with someone recently. And I'm stuck with it now. It's okay. It's all right.
I'm like, oh, that's so clever.
It's such a convoluted, it's not even a pun. It's a really convoluted play on words, and people just think, oh yeah, you're a musical nerd, and the amount of times I get tagged in the Broadway show on things is unreal. And sometimes I'll be like, hey, did you mean to tag? And sometimes I'll just let it ride. You're not alone. I did it to myself, and I'm stuck with it now.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, this whole time, I started the conversation off I love your TikToks. I'm a fan.
You don't even know my name.
That's the name of this whole time. I'm gonna gatekeep myself out of your community. How dare me?
Noir has a running track record of not recognizing puns or wordplay.
I knew this was gonna come up. Okay, go ahead.
Supercut of Noir not realizing that critical misses itself is wordplay.
I thought it was critical films. Oh, that's dope. And then we were having a conversation about the logo. And you're like, we should put the heart on the one. And I'm like, why? It's critical misses. And I'm like, oh.
But isn't it? It's just the most beautiful reinforcement of the naming, isn't it?
I never claimed to be a smart man.
Listen,
but you're pretty.
Okay.
Oh, so
who's in this chat? I'm not making any more jokes like that today.
You're good. There's a question that we always ask that I dread asking you because I already know what the answer is, but we're gonna let things cook for a little bit longer before I do this to myself. Mercilessly Rose Noir 2024 continues. Jesus.
Ask it with a straight face.
You know what?
Go ahead.
You know what? We're just gonna jump straight to it because I've seen your Instagram. I know what you do.
That's why you had me on here.
You are my enemy. But anyway, I'm just we're only a couple minutes into the show, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. There is a silent war going on in the TTRPG community.
Is
between
there?
Yeah, between those of us who see these guys as just storytelling tools and others who see them as forbidden crotch, the forbidden crotch, the sweet, sweet forbidden candy. They put it in their mouths even though it's a dental hazard and a choking hazard. And we have to make it stop. So I have to ask you, Liz, what side of the sport are you?
So well.
I mean, are you cruncher or are you a dice defender? Don't you want to be a dice defender like me?
Do you want to hear something so sick? My biggest like veil in terms of horror TTRPGs. My like, please give me a heads up before you do this, is to do
Mhm.
with teeth. My biggest personal fear is like anything dental. And like, I don't know if that's because of my awareness of how the US health system works or just the fact that it's like the fear of it. Um, that said, in the hands of a consummate professional, it is for aesthetics sometimes. Um,
Don't do it. Don't say it.
but here's the thing: I can't endorse it because I won't be anybody's liability. I cannot publicly endorse it. So no, I am a little bit on your side. I don't know. I can maybe I'm
Yeah.
more on Anita's side with this in the responsible group.
Oh no, not
But
another one for the
but
crotch
but here's
response.
the thing: if anything ever happens, keep my name out of your mouth. I didn't endorse it.
Keep my name and maybe your dice out of your mouth.
Exactly.
It's. I feel like that's a new faction. We just
Do not pull that page. Don't pull that page up in urgent care and be like, but look,
I was
because I
told
won't
to do
vouch.
it. I never thought about what that must be like for you to be like to be the person that makes crotching look so like attractive and stuff. It's just like, oh man, you're like the face of crotching, but like you gotta bear the
Yeah.
weight of that responsibility.
Oh, it looks sexy, but the risk assessment.
Those
You
swords
think I
are
do?
on your head.
There's
Uh,
just so much enamel everywhere.
just so many lost teeth.
Where did this crown cap?
Oh God! Oh, you know what? That was a surprising answer, and what I one that I can live with. You are not a crotcher, and that's enough for me.
And you thought. I'm glad I could be a surprise.
I was worried that you would do what so many people have done on this show,
Which
which
is
is to
just sit
take a
here and
dice
just
and look me dead in the no.
not gonna do that.
See, it's we got a nice guest. We got a nice guest today. I feel safe, but this might also be a trap.
You'll never know.
I'll never know. Ah, so I have to ask you, like, like, how did you get started on making TikToks and making those Instagram posts that have blown up? Like, the hardest part of doing any of the TikTok and Instagram stuff, from my perspective, is just starting. So, like, what inspired you to get started in that?
I guess the kind of short answer, and it's probably not dissimilar to a lot of people, and it was the pandemic. I Things hit, and a lot of my creative outlets kind of went nowhere. A lot of the community things I was involved in broke up. And so you kind of turn that creative outlet online, and then Instagram kind of died, and then you kind of turned to performing, which is both great and terrible. It's I think I've come to a point, and I had a conversation with a friend recently about like growth. I'm at a point in doing the TikTok thing and connecting with the people that I really want to connect with that like uh, I think I'm kind of like happy with where I am with that. I don't know if that's any kind of like an answer. But I got into it out of like necessity of needing a creative outlet and then like wanting to find other people who were kind of doing the same thing. Um, and to kind of keep that in like whatever is happening now in the world.
That's, it's wild to think of how much we got in terms of content because of the pandemic. Like it's it's really kind of amazing to see like creative people just needing to make something and not like having the usual go-tos. Um, can I ask, what were some of your usual go-tos before the panini hit?
I was playing a lot more in person, for sure. There
Yeah.
were a lot more like creative groups that I was involved in meeting up, like here in the city, that obviously for distancing reasons did not happen anymore. Um, yeah, and it just, I don't know, it
Yeah.
feels so long ago that like everything since has
It's
just been everything since.
it's that's very true. I tried to remember a lot of what I used to do before the pandemic. It's just it's all gone. Um, let's um we just did the crotch question. And usually there's like a punishment question that comes for folks that aren't dice defenders. But I'm not gonna ask you the punishment question. I'm gonna ask you the more fun question, which is
Can we ask that just in 1 second? I know that you're not on captions and it's going to mess up. So I'm going to cut us to break real quick if you want to get that sorted.
okay, sure. So we'll be back in just 1 minute.
See,
As
see.
I come back. Uh or as we come back. Bye.
Bah. All right, cool. I just knew that it was going to. We're back.
We said a minute and we meant it.
Yeah. Consummate professionals in this
I
house.
I got choked up on coffee. I'm sorry. But to the question. You are the God Emperor of the TTRPG space, and any three things you want to have happen immediately at the snap of your finger. What do you make happen?
Oh, um, don't think too much about this. A lot of jobs back. A lot of jobs back. Um, oh my God, what do I want to happen? I don't.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't want to be the god of anything. I think that's where I start. I don't want to be the god of anything. Um,
It's only
are
temporary
we
power.
are we talking? Are we talking like larger, like greater good? Are we talking like itty bitty tiny game rule changes?
We're talking about if you want it, you can snap your fingers and Watsy would go defunct and all of Watsy's assets, properties, and funding would go to anyone of your choice.
I want some of my friends to keep their jobs that they have there. I want all of my friends there to keep their jobs.
Or if you snap your fingers, the CEOs of Watsy can get replaced by whoever you want.
Replaced by Gritty. Just replaced by Gritty. That's
Not by Gritty.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend.
Gritty.
Just for a year. I'm gonna see how that goes for a year. There's a time limit on it, and let's see what happens.
Gritty as the CEO of Watsy might be the greatest wish.
Yeah, yeah. More jobs and Gritty at the top for a year, see how it goes. We can revisit and see what happens. Oh, and all the books come with PDFs. All of the books now come with PDF versions.
Thank you.
All of the old versions also come with PDFs.
I mean, I'm looking at the wait, hold on, let me just wave goodbye to any sponsorships or anything we might ever get from Watsy. I'm looking at the
I say that in the
Oh no. I'm saying that because of what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I'm looking at the CEO of Hasbro, and I can't exactly be sure that that's not Gritty.
How do we know? Have we ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
If you look at Chris Cox, like if you put CEO of Hasbro in Google, the picture that they give you looks like a human Gritty.
Have you ever seen them in the same room? Is my first question. Always have suspicions about. Have you seen these two people in the same room? No, I have not.
He might be.
And
Gritty.
so. I might have already wasted that wish.
I think we found a conspiracy. This goes deeper than we ever thought.
He's from Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Interesting.
Oh. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, you got 2 more.
Oh, I got 2 more?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Any 3 things you want to have happen in 24 hours?
Yeah, no, the PDF thing, Gritty.
One more, then.
Shit, what was the first one I said?
Oh, people.
Oh, you wanted everybody to get their jobs back.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's 3.
Increase to jobs. Oh, ban on AI. Full on across the board ban on AI.
Yeah.
I feel like these are just general things that I think apply to like creative spaces overall, though, and not just TTRPG.
Hey, listen, if everybody benefits, then everything benefits. Like,
yeah.
I got no problems with that.
I'm just sick of every 4th TikTok is like, here's what I'd look as a comic book character. Like, or you could just give an artist like some money and go, could you draw me as a comic book character? Like,
I've gotten to people and be like, hey, we're buddies, just so you know, like, knock that shit off. Like, that's bad. And they keep doing it. It just keeps happening.
Yeah. There's like some pretty big TikTokers that like they do the drama blog posts, and some of them use AI generated art to like tell the story, and it's just like,
you know how harmful this is, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sora's not gonna make things better, and I'm very upset that they named it Sora.
Oh, my heart broke.
For those that don't know, Sora is AI's capacity to now make videos from prompts, which would be awesome if it was sourced off of ethically acquired data to learn how to do this, but it's not. It's
not named after the key holding sweet boy of Kingdom Hearts. Like,
with like the size 18 shoes.
I hate that. Absolutely hate it.
Like I feel like they did that on purpose. Like, we know these guys are geeks, but they're like the evil. I feel like there's a spectrum of nerd. You've got. Oh, go ahead.
No, is it Grandma's Boy, the guy with the trench coat who's like the Elon Musk stand-in? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
It's those nerds.
So I feel like that actually isn't the worst level of nerd, in my opinion. That is the second to worst. The worst level of nerd is any nerd that liked anything that happened in Revenge of the Nerds. That
Yes.
you're immediately out of here. You just
Gone.
you're just gone. You're just done. Then it's the grandma boys nerd. Then you got your middle of the road. I just like nerdy things. I'm not gonna be a dickhead about it. And then we go to the opposite section, where you got your good nerds. I don't know who's like the pinnacle of good nerd, and I'm afraid to even throw a name out because like 2 days later it'll be like, and
Don't.
then they eat babies, and I'm like, well, fuck. I've got to live with this VOD where I'm like, oh, the guy that eats babies is a great nerd. Like,
On there forever.
The instant milkshake ducking that will occur.
why do our heroes keep turning out to be evil?
It
Like,
have heroes. You don't have heroes, it doesn't happen.
it's not. I mean, it's like not like a little bit evil. It's like they're like way evil.
Like sinister. There's like evil and there's like sinister.
Like, I just it's getting exhausting at this point where it's just like, can you believe in anybody? Like,
Amir, get over here. You've been fighting with your brother for the last 20 minutes while I've been streaming.
uh like I've got a list of like white dudes that if they turn out to be racist, it'll break my heart.
Is Paul Rudd on that list? Or is
Honestly,
Paul...
no. Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are the.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That hurt, right? Like,
That would, oh.
yeah, but like there's some white guys where it's like it turns out they're racist. It's just like, like, oh, okay. You're like,
Maybe like, okay.
like if Jason Statham turned out to be racist, I'd be like, I can see it.
I get that. He hasn't specifically said anything lately, but yeah, like I was braced for that.
Yeah, I was ready for it. If Tom Hanks turns out to be racist, that'll hurt.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
That would be a little bit
I think
surprising.
a few people on your list are also no longer with us. So like Fred Rogers, if some video drop.
If an old video of Mr. Rogers ever popped up and he's just like going in on black folks, like
if Steve from Blue's Clues, that would immediately get to me.
that would especially because he came back to check on us. Like I think it's a show of the times where like like children's entertainment characters have to come back to check on us.
Elmo checked in on us, that poor sweet baby. And we
Something Elmo
on that puppet.
He shouldn't have
Elmo
asked.
was just being vague.
He's like, Elmo's like, are you okay? And we're really not.
Buddy, I got something to tell you.
Elmo, this inflation is killing us.
I'm Twitter traumatized a puppet.
I'm not gonna lie. I replied to Elmo. I think I said something like, I hate living like you hate Rocco.
Is that why Elmo went private? Is that around the time Elmo had to go private?
I really hope my tweet wasn't the one that did it. It's like, okay, these motherfuckers are not okay.
Twitter folk, Elmo is 4. Please don't trauma dump on a child.
Well, and then he had to deal with physical violence that week, which, like...
Oh, I can't believe that. What the fuck was Larry David? He was like,
4.
Everybody wanted to do it. Like, what?
No. He checked on us. Yeah, no. Elmo's 4.
Oh,
try that shit with Oscar.
Oscar will put your ass in the landfill.
Riot with Oscar.
I'm sorry. I'm just now imagining Oscar being that guy that people in Sesame Street call to get the dirty work done.
Absolutely.
Put the cans on them.
Like Big Bird is just walking over the ground, like Oscar. Like, did you see what happened to Elmo? Something happened to Elmo.
What happened to Elmo? You want him by the curb? Or you want him in the landfill?
This is why I wish I
Trash
could
Days
draw
Wednesday.
just, just Oscar with the silent pistol sneaking behind Larry face.
Oscar's
Oscar
the
is
one.
also chaotic good.
Thank you, Sam. Oscar's the one you throw when it's time to throw cans.
It's exactly it.
I love our community. And hey, Sam. Um, I don't know how we got here, but I love that we're here. Like just the dark side of Sesame Street.
The only way that could have gone with me on the show.
Oh god, we trauma dumped so hard on that little lost.
Speak for yourself. I bottled that shit.
I
That poor baby did not deserve that.
I I really couldn't. Like he asked me, and like you ever hold it in, and then like just the right person's just like, "Are you okay?" And
Bring it in.
no matter how much you want to go, "I'm okay," it's just like that person being so genuine. It's just like, "No, I'm not okay. I've been keeping my shit together for so long, Elmo, and I can't do it anymore."
Listen, I was that kid that got trauma dumped on. I'm not gonna give that to anybody else.
Oh, that's the new TT. That's the new TTRPG idea. Like it's just you gotta hold it in when Elmo asks you if something's wrong. Make a Constitution save to keep that all bottled up. Uh, okay, so sorry we got off. We've got off the track way hard. Um, so here's the next question that follows the God King question, which is you get to play any TTRPG with any 5 people that are alive right now. You don't count towards the 5. You get to choose who's the GM and what system you're playing. What does your table look like?
Ooh. Abri is my GM.
Yeah, good call.
Mm-hmm.
I want Iowa Debris. I watched Bottoms last night and it was fucking hilarious. Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Megan the Stallion.
Oh my God, yes.
And I I don't know. I think Harrison Ford.
You just want somebody that doesn't care at the table.
Yeah, I think. But I think we're playing Orbital Blues, so I think this table plays real well to that. I think that's.
I discovered that the reason why
Will
Harrison
Gritty be
Ford.
at the table? Get at, yeah. Okay, if if for whatever reason anything happens to Harrison Ford, Gritty takes that spot.
I don't know why, but when you described this table, I immediately thought of it being Harrison Ford's turn and him not paying attention to no, and Megan being like, "It's your turn," and it made me so happy. Like,
I want her looking over a sheet, being like, "What's it say down there?"
Yeah. I found out the
like...
reason.
Oh, go ahead.
I was
No,
just gonna
please.
say, I found out the reason why Harrison Ford does not give a fuck in interviews is because he's stoned most of the time.
Yes!
For real?
Yeah, he's baked.
I want him at my table. That's it. Yeah, bring him in.
Oh my God. I this some people might see this as an insult, but I really don't mean it that way. I feel like Megan would be the kind of person that gets frustrated at people who don't know what to do when it's their turn. Like I don't know why I get that. Like I feel like Megan is always like 4 steps ahead, so when it's just like somebody else's turn and they taking a while, it's just like writing bars about them in her head.
She's 6 moves ahead, even with the chance of failing. Like she's got it planned out, and then the contingency plan when the die eats shit. And that's why I want her at my table.
Like, I love
Harrison
her
Ford
so
in
much.
Fantasy High.
Wait, Harrison
Harrison Ford is a
Ford,
professor in Fantasy High.
Harrison Ford in high fantasy.
Oh,
Oh
in high
god,
fantasy. Oh my god, I'm so dyslexic.
he would be high. He would be high in fantasy high. There it is. We got there.
There we go. Beautiful.
Me- Megan during combat telling everybody how it's gonna go. Listen, she utterly destroyed Nicki Minaj with a bar that was only
Oh
slightly aimed at her.
god.
She
And not even just referenced.
these hoes ain't mad at Megan. These hoes at Megan's Law. Nicki has not been all right since. If you want to know what like a Tasha's hideous laughter looks like, it's that bar because Nicki is
I think
not making her saves.
that's the other thing. Like a bard after my own heart. I love a good vicious mockery, dissonant whispers, and his was just that. That's beautiful. That's just absolutely eviscerate him with words.
Every time somebody does vicious mockery, I'm just gonna hear the instrumental of this in my head. Like, oh, okay. Oh, just to take a step back from everything for a sec. Can you imagine what it would look like? Because the average person in the world of 5e has like maybe what 5 or 6 hit points on average.
Like for a commoner,
Yeah,
about
for a
5.
commoner. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could. That means you could kill most people with a vicious mockery or a dissonant whispers. And
Just a
what?
little bit of a cutting word, just a bit of a
Yeah,
backhand at him.
yeah. And the thing is, there's no evidence.
4 hit points.
The average person has 4 hit points.
4 hit points, 1d8.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like,
It's like a knife made of ice.
Yeah.
has anybody actually seen Nikki in person? Because I think she might be dead. I think these are all recordings she had beforehand.
Just in anticipation.
She did not make it. Oh god. So you know what? That brings me to another question that I'd like to ask everybody here today. And this question goes out for you too, chat. If you could have one Dungeons and Dragons or 5th edition spell that you could do once per day, what would it be? And you can't pick wish.
uh this this might be telling on real life things, but I think it and the way that I say this is not going to come out right. Tongues, I think it would be tongues.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way to say that. Um, I would say like comprehend languages, but I don't necessarily want to just be able to understand other people. I want to be able to communicate with other people. So I think it'd probably be tongues.
That's a good
That's
choice.
that's a good pull. That's a good pull. And that lasts
Yeah.
for like a while too, I think. I think that's
Yeah.
like it's one of those spells that lasts a couple hours.
There's a
Very
question
useful.
from chat. Level 1 through 9 once per day, or can we have free use cantrips?
You know what? Level 1 to 9 once per day or a free use cantrip.
Hmm.
If I'm going for the cantrip, I'm gonna go prestidigitation, because then everything can taste like cheeky nuggets.
Ooh, that's good
That's
too.
brilliant. Okay.
And that
you
would
can
run
use
out by
it,
the time I get the ick from it inevitably.
and you can use it to clean or soil anything. So you can clean yourself up with
Or you can shit
prestidigitation.
somebody else's pants.
Exactly.
I've always wanted to do that in a game and I haven't yet.
Excuse me, son. Do you know how fast you're going? You're about to have an accident, officer.
It's like prestidigitation is the perfect ADHD hack. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like you don't have to worry about having to have a shower if you want. You could just bloop, I'm clean. You can have perfect makeup because you can like I think you can also like do like small like
God
adjustments
damn
to
it,
coloration.
Gordo.
Fine details.
Fine details. You can change the color of your eyes with it if you wanted to have colored contacts for the day. Uh, you Yeah. It's and you can change the flavor of something. Harmless sensory effect. So like you always smell good. Harmless sensory effects. So like any like food that's not necessarily like taste tasty to you can be tasty to you. Sensory like issues like texture might not be affected by prestidigitation, but I think that
That was going
I
to be my
might
next question. And then
I might homebrew it that yes, it can.
you can adjust sensory things that give you, like, if I can wear corduroy for a day. I can finally wear corduroy. Does cleaning up with prestidigitation and ADHD just mean it immediately goes away into a box of other shit somewhere? Is that like, it's
Oh,
not exactly cleaned up, it just goes in a doom box somewhere else?
I think it's mostly for like dirt or that sort of thing. So like if you've got a pile of dirty dishes, the dirty dishes become clean. There's still a pile of
Fantastic.
dishes. You just got to put them away now.
So like I hate to be that GM on the ruling, but you can't just do all of the dishes at once. You have to cast it on each dish. So you
Each dish?
yes,
Can you cast it on the sink?
then that would clean the sink, but the dishes would remain dirty.
What if the sink were full of water?
Then the water would be cleaned.
I hate rules.
So like honestly, you might as well just clean the goddamn
You might
thing.
as well just do the dishes.
Like, hold on.
Wait, you can
Yeah.
instantly clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot.
So if you had one of those little wash bins that you put in your sink and you got all of those dishes in there,
You went bloop.
I still feel like you're cleaning the object, not everything in the object.
But the thing is it's still instantaneous, so it's still 6 seconds to just boop a dish and it's clean.
Well, how long does it take you to actually clean a dish? I don't think it's long.
If there's stuff that's baked on there, it takes a while.
You know what? That's fair.
that's why you just leave it to soak for 3 days.
Oh God, don't remind me of
I don't
the
do that.
sink right
I
now.
don't do that.
I just saw like Vietnam flashbacks appear in Anita's eyes thinking about our sink. Like the horror. The horror.
There are two pans in there right now. They're haunting me.
Listen, I have a glass dish doing the same.
Let's just going through some of chat's answers. Sphinx says shocking grasp or catnap. I think catnap is a good pull. Catnap is a real good pull. Get 30 seconds of 30 minutes of sleep in like a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Yeah, that's
take that.
useful. Yep. Could use
Sam
that.
Sam says regenerate or mass heal. That's a good one. But the only reason I didn't pick any healing myself, and I still haven't actually picked anything, is because you know you're gonna get the Jesus nuts. Like you're gonna get the Jesus freaks. I just that's my nightmare. It's just like, oh man, you don't look like you're doing too well. Let me just hook it up. Boop. Like, and now I've got people following me, calling me Lord. Like,
You just do.
like I'm not the Lord. I've never sung royals once. Anyway.
Again, it goes back to not wanting the responsibility of having to like not wanting to be responsible for people. Quit following me around. Oops, you've started a cult.
I know, right? And listen, I watch enough documentaries to realize it's way easier to start a cult than anybody thinks. Like, there's some really susceptible nipple babies that are looking to believe something stupid.
Corndog says greater restoration for these knees.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's not the corn dog quote I'm pulling. Corn dog goes, shit someone else's pants, sign me up. I'm tired of shitting my own. I love corn dog.
No, you also still shit your pants. You're just not alone in it now.
Yeah, we are in this together.
Join me. Now that's a cult I want nothing to do with.
But it's solidarity. It's
Uh,
togetherness.
uh,
It's what
also,
brings the cult together.
also, corn dog said with prestidigitation, you can make everything taste like Doritos local stock.
It's true. You can. You can. Where is it? You can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for an hour.
All right, so I think the spell that I would pick would be I would pick teleportation circle.
Ooh, good choice.
Ooh. Where would you go?
So the problem is with teleportation circle, I would need to make one at my apartment first, and that's the cast for the day that day. Then I would actually need to go because I can't teleport to that place. I would have to actually go there,
Mm.
make another circle somewhere, and then I could teleport back home. So I would just be like, so there's gonna be one at PAX Unplugged. There's gonna be one at Burbank, California. There's gonna be one. There's gonna be one. Where other conventions that I want to go to?
Where
Like,
what where's Gen Con Indy?
yeah, indie,
Indianapolis.
and it doesn't take a casting to use them at that point. So just walk in the circle, and I can go wherever I want
You
all the
just you
time. Yeah, just boop. But
have
then
to
I'd
be real careful about where you pop up at PAX though.
oh my god, yes. One at my house, one at the gym, one at Target. No one wants to go to Indianapolis. Just ask my friends, you mind if I come to your place and write a circle somewhere in your house that you can never touch? And don't put anything on there, please.
Noir, you have to clean each plate. Also, Noir, I'm making one-way trips to cast my spell.
Okay, okay, well now hold on. Look at the cost and the benefit. One, you get clean dishes, which is nice. The other one, free vacations whenever you want when you're done with this process, which would take about a year or maybe two. Heck hey! I'm getting one in Chicago to come visit all the TTRPG kids out there. We've got a surprising amount. Like I'm trying to steal people from other areas to come here. I'm
You
sick
guys are
of
what, Chicago?
yep.
Yeah.
I'm sick of all I'm sick of all my favorite people being in LA and New York. And you know
And
what?
Philly.
And Philly. I was thinking about it. I've got a
When you said New
couple of
York, I
friends.
included Philly in that.
I mean, y'all are a spin throw away from each other. It's like us in Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's yeah, I would really I'm going back to my wish. I would want more opportunities on the East Coast for streaming and broadcasting and visibility for East Coast gamers, game developers, streamers, actual play productions. Because there's a lot of really kick-ass people out here. New York included, Boston,
Yeah,
but like oh my God, words. What are words? Midwest as well. You've
Midwest.
got amazing people in the Midwest.
absolutely. Like I just that's why I want my teleportation circle because other people could use it too. That's the other thing that I forgot to mention. Like if I make one in your house, you can go to anywhere that I've put another circle. So it's just
Oh, you
like
can put one up in here.
yeah, it's just like hey, like if if I cast an actual play, I could just be like, all right, I put a circle in every cast member's house and
Perfect.
and one in a random castle in Ireland. So let's all go to the castle in Ireland and let's hang out.
Just a teleportation network.
Uh, Lamia says,
That
to
might
be
actually be
honest,
the best use of that.
Lamia says the best spell to have in this day and age, though, is remove disease, and I think that is true. And also, that's the Jesus problem all over again. Like, I don't want an accidental cult. I mean, is
I
it
might
better for humanity? Yes.
on that note though, if I'm thinking in that vein and I'm thinking less about like day-to-day use, I might take Hex. I might actually take Hex.
Hex your representatives.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you can't bother the shit, and that's the other thing, bother the shit out of your representatives right now, be absolutely
Yes.
relentless. because Gaza is in trouble. Palestine is in trouble. Yeah, I would hex
Yes.
my representatives. I would hex a shit out of John Fetterman.
You know, okay, rant triggered. I was rooting for Fetterman so hard.
The
He
fuck you think
seemed
I
like
feel? I voted for him.
he
Oh,
seemed like such a chill ass dude. Like he was motherfucking hoodies, just fucking. Sorry, we're talking politics, but not really. Sorry, you should pay attention to what's going on. These motherfuckers
yeah,
are
this
evil.
is important.
Like, like he turned out to be the hardcore Zionist or something. I don't know what happened. I don't know what they got on these people. Which okay, all right. So here's the question. Here's the question. Because when I was thinking of spells, I was thinking of one, but I was like, I don't think I could use it in good consciousness, which is this: dominate person.
Ooh, okay.
Now our elected officials have fucked us. Like they have given tr- billions of dollars for war efforts for a war that the people don't support, and it's not even a war; it's fucking genocide. Would it be evil to dominate all of our representatives into resigning?
No,
Like that.
I'm just gonna tell you. I'm just
no.
gonna say that if they had the chance to get that spell and use it, they would,
Yeah, but do you
And for
really want
worse.
to hold
and
yourself to
for
the
much
standards
worse
of
things.
people that have proven themselves to be absolutely morally bankrupt?
They
Because if
go
that's
low, you go to the floor.
Yeah, I'll go to hell in some of these cases where like I voted for these people who were not doing the shit that they said they were going to do and doing things against my best interest. I'll go to hell. I will absolutely go to hell if they go low.
I'm setting this up like a moral quandary here, y'all. Like, nah, sweet kick this motherfucker. I don't give a goddamn.
Literally.
Oh, Grey Day says modify memory. Convince them they already decided to resign, and that you then you don't have to maintain a connection after.
It was
You,
their idea the whole time. They like that shit the best anyway.
so I don't know how to fucking pronounce this spell.
Gaius?
Gaius or Gaius. I think that would be the one. I think that would. So here's why I think that would be worse than dominate person. With dominate person, you've got to do what you were told, and there's really none of your own faculties that play into it. With Gaius, you have a choice, but if you do what you're not supposed to do, it physically hurts you.
Yeah, you take a lot of psychic damage.
So like,
Geas. Gaius?
yeah, I've heard it pronounced so many different ways.
Geese?
And like everybody's sure they're right. But
Listen, if I can understand you, that's what it is.
yeah. Like,
If I get
thank
what you
you.
mean, that's what it is.
This is why I appreciate you. I feel like that's the worst spell to do to these guys because they have to knowingly concede power. Like it's
What about
technically their choice. Well, not
command?
see, command only lets you it's a one word order. So I guess resign would be one,
Resign?
but it has to be something that they could do immediately. That's why it's such a low level spell.
Mm,
Google says it's pronounced Gesh.
Really?
gosh.
Let's actually go to D&D Beyond because they have the pronunciation.
No, I like it being that's a pronunciation I've never heard.
How is it spelled again?
Geas. Sphinx
Gee,
goes, a lot of these
gosh.
motherfuckers would definitely choose to die under Gesh. That's how deep in this shit they are. I mean, but then you get the benefit of them
Oh,
dying. So it's just like, to me, it's a win-win.
that's really cool. More in Irish folklore, an obligation or prohibition magically imposed on a person. Yes, that's rad.
I like AJ's
Sign
little,
this paper to resign.
Or
you know,
else.
that kind of has me wondering though. And this is clear. This is a joke, or is it? Like, if you look at the way Washington is running and is run, can we say that there's not actually already somebody running around doing these spells at people? Because like, I listen. I saw Trump to somebody's face go, "Your wife is a pig," and then the next day the guy was just like, "I love Trump and I'll die for him," and I'm like, "Wait a second."
Hang on a minute.
That's not how that's supposed to go. He called your wife a pig, and he said it with his whole chest. He said it with a hard G. And
And
like,
and you went, thank you, I love this man.
what does he have on you? Listen, I truly don't believe there's any blackmail powerful enough for a man that look like, and it's not just the fact that he called this guy's wife a pig. It's the fact that look at the guy calling your wife a pig. You can roast him for days. Donald Trump is the easiest roast target. He's so easy that Justin Bieber was able to roast him. Like, I'm not letting that slide. Like, if you call my partner a pig, I'll go in on you. And if you look like that, it's even easier.
With
I
suits that big.
you know what a nightmare it turned out to be. If Trump was a sorcerer, he's not smart enough to be a wizard. Like, he would have to be a sorcerer.
Sorcerers are nepo babies. It's true.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would be the class.
That's 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 undeniable,
Those
but
fighting
that's undeniable, but I still don't like it.
Warlocks are sugar babies. Sorcerers are nepo babies.
words. Oh my god, I did see the shoes. I was going to mention the shoes.
Jeez.
I didn't want to think about
Price
the shoes.
tags.
Happened here.
Oh, those gold net. Okay,
He did that here. Somebody said some orange
Like the
asshole was
sneaker
in
cone.
Center City selling gold sneakers, and when I found out it was Trump Not Gritty, I was like, wow, that's a shock.
like
They were bad.
He got booed mercilessly out of Philly.
every now and then you gotta pull, you gotta pull a hobby aside and be like, listen, don't support this shit, please.
Yeah, someone else said this. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna. Somebody else put this really well. That like way to tell everybody you have no framework of like historical fashion, black fashion, urban fashion. That you just like put this out, released it, put your name on it, and it's just this trash product. That's just another way to like.
Well, it's not
I don't
just
like.
that.
It's just cellophane.
The company that made the shoes is an NFT bros company.
Ugh. I hate
So
it.
It's the guy that ran the NFT portion of Trump's campaign, because there, if you recall, there was a gold Trump bust NFT
Oh God,
token.
yeah.
and he
Yeah.
also
Is
had
that
those
why that
trading
is?
card NFTs too, where he's like
Yeah,
fighting a dinosaur with heat vision. Shit.
This is the weirdest timeline.
yeah.
It
Like
really
the
is.
worst and the weirdest. It's like a comment. It's like
It's the weirdest cyberpunk dystopia that I've ever been a part of.
Like, I think when we talk about our timeline, we also have to look at some of the nonsensical things that are awesome. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I, for one, never saw the partnership or the friendship of Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg happening.
I
But like,
love that.
that makes me genuinely happy. I don't know why.
That's, I think this is, I don't know where I'm going to maybe start waxing because I'm 2/3 of my way through my coffee. I think I spent my early 20s being kind of nihilistic and like my 30s leaning into absurdism. And that's what's keeping me afloat in some of like the darkest parts of this timeline is just, and it's the things like the Snoop and Martha friendship. And then the marketing that comes with it, the lighter advertisements that are just so on the nose of the two of them being like, we know why you love us.
I mean, one of us went to prison, and it's not the least.
I love when they mention that. And like, judge me if you want to, but Martha Stewart is still stone cold hot. Like, I'm sorry, I'd risk it all.
Martha Stewart could get it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's some people that just age like ridiculously, like just like it's like I've got a theory. I've got a theory. One, black obviously does not crack, but two, people that age horribly because of hate, and specifically the N word. You can tell how many times somebody said the N word with hate in their heart by looking at their face.
It's
Mitch
like Dorian
McConnell,
Gray in person.
right? Mitch McConnell said the N word so much it disintegrated his jaw.
That fucking Guillermo del Toro looking monster in the Senate.
Goddamn Yertle the turtle ass motherfucker.
Melted
All I
turtle.
see
He
is the
looks like a
Pan
turtle got
Man.
looks like a turtle got left in the sun too long.
But like, look at it. Look, William Shatner clearly says the N word. Age like, age like hot milk.
Patrick Stewart, on the other
Patrick
hand,
Stewart.
does that
I watched season 1 of TNG and he doesn't look that different. I've,
some hope? Ian McKellen, I'm still, now that you said that, I will be
I,
watching.
I feel like he might have let a couple fly. But like,
In an unforgivable but familiar English way of like, I grew up with this. It's like, granddad, no, it's still very unacceptable. You cannot. Yes, but granddad, you cannot.
this is my favorite game. It's just guessing which old white person said the N word based on how they've aged. Martha Stewart, not once, not ever, even if you ask her to.
Not even with permission, not even like.
In fact, if you ask her to, she'll call you a cracker, which gives her years back because she says it with the same malice. People say the N word like
I believe that. I believe that about Martha.
she consumes the youth of the hateful. Oh,
Paula Dean, however.
She's the reverse of whatever.
Paula,
Oh, Paula Dean.
It's like all the racism left Martha Stewart and became Paula Dean.
She's like dark, like mirror version, like the Zelda world version of Martha Stewart. She has the same moves, the same when you go to fight her, you just have to mirror her and eventually figure out how to combat it.
Yes.
Martha Stewart and Paula Dean are the Dante and Virgil of the cooking world. Oh, oh
It's so perfect. I can't believe I never saw it before.
oh god.
Paula Dean maintains. Oh my god.
Her evil with hard R's and butter. There is a hard R on the end of butter too.
Oh, well, okay. You know my theory has a flaw. Um, Ben Shapiro, who looks like a constant 12-year-old,
Oh yeah.
is actually 40. So I don't know what to make of that.
That's unholy. That's darkness and abjuration on another level I know not of.
I feel like Ben
That's
Shapiro is an evil wizard's familiar that got a podcast.
yeah, that's more like a sentient doll that was like imbued with a soul. That's like puppetry.
Ben is also chinless.
Yes.
They
And
either
can't please
age
his
like
wife.
milk or lose their chin.
Ben Shapiro is Mitch McConnell's chin manifested. Like Vecna's hand is like Mitch's chin. Oh, you gotta be crazy if you think I'm not gonna make Mitch's chin a
The
goddamn
hand-
artifact.
The hand and the eye of Vecna, the chin of McConnell.
Oh my god.
It's like a mannequin brought to life.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just like what would that even do? Like it would immediately change the way you talk. Hey
Oh,
guys,
it'd have
look
to.
what I found.
Oh my god,
I'm
these
just
cats.
thinking of that
1 second.
TikToker who does the Mitch McConnell. Like when he glitches out his thought process.
Didn't Ben Shapiro do a rap recently? Wasn't that a thing?
Oh, like okay,
What?
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because
I'm
I
sorry.
no. Here's the thing that upsets me, and this is why I'll never forgive Nicki Minaj. I promise they're connected because I want to be able to say with my full chest that the day that Ben Shapiro's rap came out, it was the worst rap put out that day. But that's the same day Nicki decided to do that very weird response to Megan Thee Stallion, which is like half really lazy rap with a Casio piano beat.
Step on your good foot.
Rhyming foot with foot 3 times.
I know you dead,
Can't do
mama.
that.
I know you dead, mama. So like we had that come out and Ben Shapiro's rap come out, and you had to honestly ask yourself which one of these is worse. And like it still to this day hurts my melanin in my blood. In fact, I'm gonna age 1.5 years right in front of your face. Watch this. Ben Shapiro out rap Nicki Minaj.
Oh,
Oh,
God. Oh, wait. There it is. Oh my God.
During Black History Month.
I know. I was ashamed. No, look, he had a ghostwriter. We can what?
I'm vehemently against the prison system. In this case, jail for 1,000 years, 2,000, 3,000.
Uh
Or
uh
youth, how dare you? Okay.
Good job, Ben. I have derailed this entire morning show.
No, it's
I,
good. We
I,
never had rails to begin with. You're fine.
Great.
we have talked about so much and I love it. Like I'm never gonna get the mental image of Martha Stewart just like Dante.
Abandon hope.
uh
Hell smells like potpourri.
I'm getting some salt and pepper in my beard. I am because I can't believe I just said that evil ass or shit. Uh okay. Look, back to the world of TTRPGs, I guess.
Yeah, that.
I mean, we kept it mainly. I was like, we even created an artifact, the chin of Mikado.
We did. This is homebrew. This is homebrew hour.
Yeah, we're giving you guys gifts out here. But no, we do have a question that we ask in the first half. Which is, what do you feel is your signature as a player? Like, what do you feel that you do as a player that's better, or not? Well, not better than. Well, yeah, better than most. I say.
Uh, I I think the thing that I've come to realize, and this is both like to my benefit and my detriment, I'm really good at flavoring spells. I'm a spellcaster. I used to,
Yeah.
which is funny. Okay, so back to like the rogue thing in my name. I used to main rogues, which are not spellcasters for anyone playing at home. Very stabby, very melee, very direct. I don't think I've played a rogue in the last 8, 9, 10 years.
Ooh.
It's been a minute. But I love flavoring spells, and I realize that like I'll do this thing where I'll start to flavor it before I make the roll. And then the roll will eat shit. So like going back to the thing about like why I'd have Megan at my table is like coming up with contingencies for a narrative even when I know it's going to fail. I love doing that. And I love being able to hopefully my GMs like this. I like being able to kind of give that to them and kind of set them up for a thing that even if the thing doesn't work out, they can react to that and then I can react to that. And it just kind of creates another bit of banter between me and my GM. And I love that. I
Yeah.
like bringing out like other things. I feel like people say this a lot, but I like being a player now who helps bring out things that other people like about their characters. If in a thing before a game you say that you've got goals or you want connections, I really want to help kind of bring those out with my character and play to those and help people like explore that. So on like a wider level, yeah.
Yeah. But I love players that do that, like the flavor of the spell. Even if the role eats shit, I feel like you can still have like an amazing moment. Like look, for example, like a charm person type spell, or what is it about the person that you're casting it about that gives them the mental fortitude to resist this? Like you could initiate a flashback, or like if you cast let's disintegrate at somebody, how do they tank that? Like what does that look like? What scars does it leave? Like I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what are the repercussions? Like you kind of hope for a success and you've got like the epic things lined up, but I also really like I'd like failures in a narrative too. I think that can tell you a lot. And I don't think that that's like feedback that's dissimilar to what people have said. I think, failures in a thing can also tell like a really cool story and can tell a lot about the characters you're playing with.
Absolutely. Like, and I think that's the mark of a good GM is when they can get a player that does what you do, and they can hit the ball back. Because I've seen some GMs, and I've also been the GM where a player will hit the ball and I'll go, woo.
Oh yeah, no, I love a little back and forth.
Oh, that's a good one. You got any questions?
Sorry, I've been really distracted because these cats have been nonstop combating in this room with me.
Full moon shit.
It is. It has not stopped. They've finally settled a touch.
Okay.
Um, Actually, I do have a question. Liz, you're actually, I believe you're a professional makeup artist as well.
Yeah, I do a little bit. Less and less these days. But yeah, I do a little makeup.
So how did you transition from like that sort of niche to tabletop? Where did you get your start with that?
I mean, again, kind of pandemic. It was weird. I was connected to some of the people that like I still um so Nala Wu, I think, was one of the first people that I knew in this space prior to like getting really into performing tabletop and really getting into that through other spaces, through like Dice and through art and like connected on Instagram. And then obviously pandemic hit and everybody kind of started connecting in different ways. And then I kind of hooked up with this group that at the time was comprised of so this was my home group. This was prior to the podcast that kind of came from this group, which was my GM now, Sierra, who's actually a producer at Watsy now. That was another cool thing that happened for her in the pandemic, was a transition there. um, it was also Theron, who owns Fennec and Finch, which is a really nice, really affordable tabletop accessory dice company. Steph from Arcane Hollows, Dice Maker, and then two other friends, kind of from other spaces, that did this home group. From that, Sierra was kind of like, I would really like to take this streaming, and that's kind of what we did. And I feel like again, it's kind of a similar start to how a lot of us got into this, but it helped having that space where I was doing the makeup thing and having those connections with dice makers, and doing the art based on that to connect with other people in the space.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Now, I have a question that is not at all related and a little weird. But
Go for it.
if you were a werewolf or a vampire, is there anyone in your life that you know now that you would turn? Or would you turn to anybody in general?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I think enthusiastic consent would obviously be like number one. You'd have to be like so down for this turn. Um, oh, I may actually no, I made this joke the other day. I would turn my buddy Bertie Bristlecone into a werewolf with me. We'd start a little werewolf gang, and we'd run around wreaking good havoc as
Hell,
werewolfs. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What
I
about you all? What's same question? What about you all?
Ooh. I don't see it's for me it depends on like is it the kind of mythology where the werewolf is like attached to whoever they turn, or like is the vampire attached to whoever they turn? Like if
That's a
can I
weird
hear
power
them in my
dynamic.
head? Right. Cause also I might charge for it. Listen, I'm broke.
Really want this.
I'm tired.
You want immortality? It's gonna cost
Join our
ya.
Patreon.
Yo,
Only fangs.
at the sire tier, I come to your house and I make you a child of the night. But you have to be on the sire tier for 12 months consistently before I do it.
So wait, going back real quick, talking about vampires and werewolves. There's a thing coming up, and it just made me think of this. The thing that I bring to games, cop violence. I will always commit cop violence in games. We have a night crawlers game coming up soon that is werewolves, vampires, all sorts of monsters in this like alternate Seattle. I will always bring a cab to your game.
I see. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
like gratuitous.
Capitalism has arrived at Supernatural Transformation. And Nora, thank you for linking the Patreon page for
Listen, I'm just trying to say if your life is a little boring right now, or you got, it's better than the U.S.'s healthcare system, is all I'm saying.
I'd sign up for that.
Join our OnlyFangs.
But no, seriously, there's only maybe 2 people I'd consider turning for real, like, especially if I had to deal with them forever. It's just like, all right. But like, if I didn't have to have them in my head, then there's probably 4 people total that I'd be like, all right, I've turned you, now go to the other side of the globe. and we never speak of this again.
I need space. Can we just yeah, if it was a situation of like Lestat and Louis where you constantly got someone in your head all the time, no thank you. Life of solitude. Yeah. I'm good.
Right. Like the Louis and Lestat type relationship. I don't
Eternity's too long.
I know, right? And I'm not nearly like sexy enough to keep that kind of thing going. Like Lestat is sexy enough to it's just Lestat is sexy enough to be like, ooh, I'm in your dreams. And
this feels like bait.
No, it's really not. No, listen, no, because here's what. Like, if I appeared in your dreams, I'd appear like this in a uni, probably watching cartoons, high as fuck, eating chocolate covered pretzels. Like nobody, no, there's no Victorian romance novels about. And this guy was in a uni with honors in it, eating pretzels and just ripping that like bong.
Huge.
Join me, my angel of the night.
Fatty bog rip.
They changed my answer. I want to be a vampire.
Nor does not legally guarantee that membership in the Patreon will facilitate your supernatural transformation, but they are not saying it. Are you going to share the pretzels?
See, and that's the thing. That's like the way that they're normally written is just like, come to me, my angel of the night. And the moment you try to initiate some sexy times, you wake up. Like the moment you try to reach for the chocolate covered pretzels, that's when you wake up in a cold sweat, very confused. Like, what the fuck?
What happened?
Who is this guy?
I just wanted to take a pull from that bong.
You start confessing to your priest, Father, there's a demon in my dreams.
It came to me ripping fat bongs.
He's got the stickiest of the icky, Father. What do I do? I don't know that I'll be able to say no much longer.
A riskless vampire.
Yo,
I think we need more riskless vampires in fiction.
I'm changing my name.
I already discussed it.
I'm changing my name on Twitter right now to the Riskless Vampire.
I've already talked at length about how I'm a rejection sensitive vampire. If the contingency is like I have to be invited in, I really have to know I'm invited in. Like,
Are you sure?
are you?
Is it okay?
Because it kind of sounds like maybe you don't want me to come in.
Like, I heard how you said that I'm welcome, but like,
But like, also,
Am I
did I do
though?
something?
Are
You
you
sure?
mad at
You seem
me?
kind of busy.
More shiny, not me writing notes for my next vampire game.
goddamn, I just tried to change my name and it's like making me fucking
Is it making you do a puzzle?
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm dumb is the thing that I'm trying to tell these
Please
people.
move the camera so that there are 3 rocks in view.
I have no spatial awareness.
Well, yeah, God, I just want to punch Elon Musk in the face. Just
And the
one
thing is,
time in my
it's
life.
not to verify that you're a human. It's to train an AI bot. You know that.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
everybody
but
knows
like
it.
everybody, listen, everybody goes through a midlife crisis. I've never seen somebody make it the world's problem.
Everybody's problem. Like, there are ways you can do this in private.
Like, this motherfucker named his kid a math equation.
Yeah. And yeah, among other things.
$44 billion
The man's a
midlife
monster.
crisis.
It's an expensive tanking to show you are not happy.
Like,
Listen, some
why?
people just get tattoos.
I feel like he's also got the tattoos.
He's got the X logo, unfortunately, probably.
With the distortion filter over it.
Ugh.
What? This I I I confess I went through a small period of my life where I thought Elon Musk was cool because I didn't know much about him. I was like, oh, is this the real life equivalent to Tony Stark? Okay, that's cool. And then I read, and reading is where you find out the truth about the world.
And you're
So
like, oh, this is just a worst Batman villain.
Yeah.
Like,
it really
this is
is.
just a loser nepo Batman villain.
Like,
It's Lex Luthor without the style.
Yeah.
yeah, yo. Yeah, no, that's
Or like the good business sense, because I feel like even Lex Luthor had some okay business deals before he just absolutely fucking tanked everything.
I feel like if Lex Luthor bought Twitter, Twitter would improve.
Fair. You know what?
Our reality is so fucked up that I would easily trade any of the billionaires that we actually have for Lex Luthor.
Oh.
Easily.
Yeah, Branson.
Like,
I'd trade Branson for Luthor. Uh,
More shoddy, not me writing notes for my next Masks game. This is why I come here for GM notes. I'm glad we could facilitate that for you more. I'm glad we can help with your prep.
Notes on this will be in the Patreon.
Yeah.
right? If you want your Lex Luthor 5E and math stats, join our Patreon, where you might accidentally become a vampire if you stay on the Patreon too long.
He would change Twitter's name to Lex. You are right.
Oh, it was there the whole time.
But the difference is you would like we all call Twitter still for a couple of reasons. One, because we've been called it Twitter all our life, and that's just what it is. And when it was at its best, it was called Twitter. And also, fucking Elon Musk is a goddamn transphobe. And fuck him. And we're not gonna honor your name change if you won't honor everybody else's. And so it's just like that we have no incentive to call it X. I feel like though if Lex Luthor took over Twitter, he would add improvements like bots would be gone. Well, no, bots wouldn't be gone. The only bots that would be allowed to stay are anti-Superman bots. And you know what?
He would suppress a lot of Superman propaganda.
There would be a lot of anti-Superman propaganda. I could live with
All right with that. I'd be okay with that.
Make Earth great again. Get
No.
these goddamn aliens off our planet.
Oh, get me off this planet.
Same.
But I mean, here's why I like. Here's why I even respect Lex Luthor's hatred of Superman, even though I love Superman. Because if Superman actually existed, it would be a white supremacist dream.
Yes.
And Lex Luthor is Lex Luthor has to be a fantasy character because he's the only white man that could see a white guy that's the fastest white guy on the planet that can fly and is stronger than everybody and go get that motherfucker off of here.
Isn't Superman just what's his face from The Boys? Isn't that's just that's
Homelander?
what would happen? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's who would follow that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love this conversation.
I'm here for
we
this.
we are officially at our hour 30 mark. So were there any other first half questions before we go on our break and then go to the dark rose?
I think we've actually covered all our first half questions.
All
Did
right.
it, friends?
All right. In that case, we are gonna go on a quick break. I won't define the break because then I can take however long I want to. No, I'm kidding. But we will be back with the dark roast. Stick around and check out our highlights and whatnot.
We'll see you soon. Are back. Hello.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Everybody go get a library card.
Go get a
Get a
library
library
card.
Do it.
Go to your library, sign up. They're free. They're so good. Keep your libraries open. Get a library card.
Yes.
In case you're wondering, where did that come from? It was inspired by Michael, the librarian, that you might have seen on TikTok. He announced that he's retiring for his mental health. He blew up on TikTok, got a lot of attention from a lot of unhappy people. They wanted to make that his problem. Yeah, fuck that. So in honor of him, go get your library card. Welcome to the
Here's the thing.
dark. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, if I ever catch anybody making a move, a comment, a remark, an insult towards Michael, you heard what Philly did to that robot. You remember how like Philly got that robot that traveled the world and it was fine up until that point, and then it got here and then it had like not such a great time. Like it'll be worse than that. He's a treasure. He's a gem. Get your library card.
Morshadi, to be more clear, he's quitting the library, not TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I think he might be quitting both, actually, which is upsetting. Welcome to the dark roast. I do have to say about Philly in particular, you motherfuckers booed Santa.
Did we? That sounds about right.
Okay, so this is my favorite Philadelphia story. Santa came to an Eagles game for halftime to like during Christmas time to like wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And I think Philly was losing the game at the time, so they were just not having it. And it was in the midst of a massive snowstorm. So what they did was that they made snowballs and poured beer in the snowballs, and also they made snowballs around beer bottles, and they just launched them at Santa and booed him the whole time.
The Wikipedia
Here's what you don't know.
Is the Philadelphia Eagles Santa Claus incident. But continue.
It's a known fact though that Santa is a Cowboys fan. So in fairness, like he really shouldn't have been pulling that in the stadium the way he did.
True.
Fuck around and find out.
This is why I love Philadelphia, because I feel like Chicago and Philadelphia are sibling city. Because the way that I hate the Packers, I've never seen an Eagles fan that hasn't hated the Cowboys in the very same way. It's like it's a mutual destruction level of hatred, which is wait, they'll be destroyed too? Okay.
It's that mutual assured destruction, and then like I don't even like football. I'm not necessarily a football fan. Am I gonna say go Birds when I pass Jeff Stormer at Big Bad Con? You bet I am. Is it gonna be weird out of context? Sure, but I hate the Cowboys. I know that for sure because I was born with it, and that's maybe the only thing I'm certain of in life.
there is a there is a moment. There's I'm a football guy, so I apologize. This is gonna be a jock minute for a minute.
I'm soccer, so talk to me soccer, and we're good. But like,
Oh,
continue.
I wish I understood soccer, but also nah. Uh, but it it was our first playoff game since 2007 in 2018, and we were playing the Eagles, and we were about to win. All we had to do was kick a field goal, and our kicker, who had missed a bunch of kicks all season, kicks the ball. Eagles call timeout. It goes in, doesn't count because they call timeout. So, which
Rough.
it's a dick move, but it's a tactic. You can't be
It's
mad
rough,
at it.
yeah.
So then he kicks again, and it hits one of the posts, and we're like, oh, and then it hits another post, and we're like, oh, and then it goes out. And you can see, like, if you have a minute and you want to see every Chicagoan's heartbreak at the same moment, just look up the double doink. Because like when it happened,
That even sounds upsetting.
it, look, you don't want your worst moment to be given a cute nickname like the double doink.
Here's the thing: do they have to grease your poles in Chicago when your teams do well?
I don't know. Our teams haven't done well since the 90s. I mean, when our teams did do well, from what I can remember, there was a lot of shooting, not at each other, just in general. We were happy, so
Just up.
we pulled our guns out and started banging.
I mean,
Sure, yeah.
when Chicago goes hard. You steal police horses.
No, see, Anita, Anita is colored by my love of the city. I don't think anybody goes harder than Philadelphia, and that's a compliment and also an insult at the same time. The last
I
time
took
they
it that
won
way.
the last time they won the Super Bowl, when they were climbing up all the posts. Like those little things outside of the door of restaurants, like the shade. People were climbing on those, and for some reason, a guy ate horseshit. He was so happy he ate horseshit. So like Philly goes hard, and I
Here's
respect that.
for consistency's sake, when we had a really bad flood a couple of years ago and a 76 turned into the 76 Canal, there was a man who dove off of the Schuylkill Expressway into rainwater that had flooded our like underpasses. So if that's any indication of like we're just gonna do it, I think that's maybe the true spirit of Philadelphia.
Like there are some teams that if they win, bad things are gonna happen. So I think like Chicago's one of those cities where if we win, bad things are gonna happen. So God
Bad
just
things happen
doesn't
in
let us win.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Also, New York, like New York is building a new stadium. And in the construction site, there's a massive hole. And at the beginning of the playoffs, for some reason, a drunken fan went to the construction site and fell into the hole. And the next day, the Bills won. And so it became a thing that the pit demands a sacrifice.
The pit demands a sacrifice.
Is
Get in
this
the
where we
hole!
are? Get in the pit. This is where we are now. We're coming full circle to human sacrifice for sports wins. This is the spectacle of it. Here's where we've landed.
So the mayor had to go, please do not jump in the pit. It's a 40-foot drop. You will die. And people did it anyway. And didn't die is the thing.
Bill's Mafia.
Did they win?
Did they win though?
Did they keep winning?
Well, the last game where they did lose, nobody was able to go into the pit because they increased security. So there is a subsect of Bills fans that
Bills
truly
Mafia.
believe the Bills Mafia that truly believes that they lost because they failed to feed the pit. There's feed the pit shirts. Like,
yeah, there are. I just looked up the pit demands a sacrifice in the top 4 Instagram. There's an Instagram post about it, there's a Reddit post about it, and then there's 2 t-shirt sites.
And there's a couple of news reports. Like, this is real. So
it's so easy to start a cult.
It's so easy.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine if you had heel and somebody saw it.
That's all it took.
That's a cult right there. People are dumb.
Can either of you talk to me about Chicago Rat Hole?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can. We're 5 minutes away from it. All right. So our city infrastructure is so bad that a rat was run over so frequently that its body was literally crushed into the pavement. So it made a rat-shaped hole, and its body was just flat in the hole. And people were like, praise the rat hole. like we were just
That's a different image of how I saw that happening. I thought he lived after I thought he fell in like a...
Yeah, I thought it was like the sidewalk square, and there was wet pavement, and a rat fell
like
in.
an Acme sketch, and then he just kept
on walking, the body is in the rat hole. Like, it's just flat in the hole.
But you need to make an offering to the rat hole.
Yeah, and people pass by it with like, praise the rat, and they started putting donations and candles around. Like, it started as a memorial. Like, this rat went out hard. They started leaving little trinkets, like if somebody has an accident and they put a cross where it happened. So they did that for the rat, and people started paying tribute, and it became a whole thing. And then the city was like, fine, we'll fix it. And then they put concrete to level the hole so that it was gone. And we were like, how dare you?
Indignity.
How dare you? And so the day after they put the concrete, a bunch of Chicagoans came and removed the new cement to bring back the hole, and it has become a holy site.
They give it offerings of malort and coins.
Somebody left the Chicago dog on there.
Yeah. I mean, they should have left Johnny's beef, honestly.
You just give.
I didn't realize malort was from Chicago.
Oh, it is.
Until I heard it was being offered.
It is, yeah. Malort tastes like a bitter divorce. If 9/11 had a flavor, it'd be Malort.
Accurate.
Malort tastes like it's time to fight your dad.
And balked.
There's so many of these. Like, my favorite thing to do is to bring people to Chicago and just record them drinking Malort. I've got one of Anita. I've got one of AJ. You know what? And shout out to Hoosier Kid. AJ took a shot of Malort and then immediately got hit on. Like, which is the most baller thing I've ever seen.
Was it Malort?
No, it was just so he He took the shot, slammed it down, and then immediately some lady at the bar was like, "You want to dance?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like,
Someone was like, that was fucking hot.
I was like, okay, all
Never seen
right.
someone shoot Malort like that.
This guy's clearly dead inside, so I've got to make a move.
That had no effect.
Listen, it
I'm
sounds like you've got
so
low
mad.
self-esteem, and I'm into that.
Oh, you would do
You've
that to
got a
your
void within you.
you would do that to yourself. I can't wait to see what you would do to me.
Look, as part Dane, there's this really fucking awful syrup drink in Denmark called hot and sweet. And I'm sure it's in other places in Scandinavia too, but it pours like cough syrup. It's like imagine freezing Jägermeister and then adding some sort of like slurry to it and then make it taste like hot licorice, like spicy licorice. And Danish people drink that and enjoy it. And it's like a, but I think it's also that sort of self-punishing thing where it's like I don't deserve to enjoy this. Drinking is a pastime, but I shouldn't enjoy it.
I mean, our whole deal, the reason that we love Malort is because it removes the weakness from you. Like that face you make after you drink it, that's the weakness leaving your body and
That speaks
being
to my Polish side very much.
exactly.
I've
You
gotten to
need
the
to.
point where I
Uh,
just go to the bar and I tell the bartender that like, I'm having a bad day and I'm looking to make it worse, so just give me a shot of Malort.
I'm
people
gonna
come.
try that here and see what happens.
I'm steering
Yeah,
into this skid. Let's go.
Threaten
people
me
are
with a good
like,
time.
"There's no way that y'all actually like that." No, we love it, like because we don't deserve anything better. Like,
This is all I should get.
how do y'all survive the cold? Because we've filled our bellies with hate and suffering.
Nothing is worse than what the
That
Malort has already done to my body.
couldn't possibly be worse. That's like us with Scrapple. Nothing we can put in us could possibly be worse than with
Oh,
Scrapple.
I need to make sure I bring a bottle every time I go to a con because some of you TTRPGers love yourself too much and you need to tone it down.
Oh, bring it to PAX. Please bring it to PAX.
Oh my god, yeah, that's happening. That's a, you know what? I feel like you would handle it well. Like I think I might get maybe a from you, like at most.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We
I think
gave
I
some.
might.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the one person that we gave Malort to Wasa, and he just
Oh
took
my,
it. Like
Austin's a
Australians are a
goddamn
bit
gangster.
different.
Yeah, I can
Uh,
see that.
the
There's a
Aussie
lot out
just
to
took a
get you
shot.
in
It's like,
Australia. I feel like the Malort's not going to do it.
Well, I mean, if you live with spiders that are so big and vicious that if they look at you the wrong way, you die. Like, I don't really think there's any drink
So
that can
even if you
fuck with
do
you.
feel it internally, you're not going to express it externally and show that sort of fear and weakness. Because if a spider sees that, like you're done for.
Right? You just gotta accept this is what's happening to me now.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so, I mean, just I didn't real like I thought that the sweetest animal in Australia was the kangaroo. I'm like, well, they've got spiders and creepy crawlies. At least kangaroos, they're sweet and nice. Then again, I read,
They'll
and
take your head off.
do you know that kangaroos will stand in the middle of a body of water, and if anything comes close to them, they'll just drown it and eat it?
humans included.
Yeah.
Um, up to okay, so here's kangaroos are tall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they in like puddles doing this? Or are they like
No.
hiding submerged with ears poking out like reeds, waiting to are they like sirens of Australia? Is
All
that what's
you'll
happening?
all you'll see is their head in a body of water, and so you'll think
And
like,
you'll be
oh,
like,
it's
oh,
not
that's a
that deep.
swimming kangaroo.
Yeah, it's not swimming. It's just waiting. It's just waiting to murder you.
How many years do you think it's taken for kangaroos to realize this is a really effective way to like hunt? This is a form of hunting.
I feel like it's only I feel like it's only efficient at hunting people. It's the thing though, which is what's really terrifying.
Yeah. Yes.
I that when I read that, I like you ever read something you just like nope.
Yeah, that can't be it. That
Nope.
no.
That's and they're fucking built like a fucking brick house. They
Do you ever see that
no.
dude who has that reservation, Brolga, who like rears kangaroos? He like finds them and raises them, and they get big and they square up to him, and he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna." They're
Yeah, I mean,
huge.
and they've got claws, so it's not just like they're gonna punch the shit out of you, which they will do,
Well,
but they're also cutting you the fuck up.
but
I
see,
mean,
And like human teeth.
here's the
mm-mm.
worst part is like they'll kill you, but they aren't going to eat you because they're herbivores. They're just going to drown you.
Oh yeah, that's
Drown
right.
you because they
Yeah,
want to.
that's right. They don't eat you; they just drown you. Mhm.
So it's not hunting; it's sport.
Yes.
Okay.
The more you know.
What the fuck, Australia?
Yeah.
There's there's some more notes for you, Rashad.
Why is Australia like that? I know why Australia's like that. Horrible things are done to Australia.
That's what happens when you fuck around with indigenous
And
people. But
koalas have chlamydia. Let's go.
Koalas do have chlamydia. Oh, you didn't know?
Did you not know?
And gave it to One Direction, right? Didn't koalas gave chlamydia to
Yeah,
One Direction?
on more than one occasion, people have gotten chlamydia from a koala.
This is why you shouldn't like go on vacation and like
Because
handle animals.
yeah, they'll piss on you and then they'll give you the chlamydia.
first off, I didn't know chlamydia could be transferred that way. Which
Yeah. And imagine explaining that one.
I
No,
hate
B,
nature.
I've only been faithful to you and the koala I handled at the Brisbane Zoo.
Writing notes for my next wander home.
Okay. Wait.
I hate it here. This earth is just this time like we got
It's a magical
cute little
place.
koala bears giving people fucking chlamydia. I thought koalas were like I moved from believing like okay kangaroos are the cutest creatures. Okay, guess not. The koala bears. Now I find out they give.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you two. We need to stop this for
And
like
at
at
this
least
point
30
I
seconds.
can't think it's accidental.
I feel like God is doing this to us on purpose.
Oh,
Give
he's an orange bub.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
he has no brain cells. He's so
Yeah,
silly.
I get it.
give the cute bear a STI. Do it. I am the Lord. I want that cute teddy bear looking creature with a pouch with an adorable baby to drown the humans.
Urgent Care Bears, the kind you need an antibiotic for.
and I
Yeah.
want and I want pandas to be on the brink of extinction and refuse to fuck.
Listen, we love asexuality and our asexual friends, but koalas or pandas, you gotta get on it. I understand.
I feel like they're onto something that we're not.
Listen,
Save
maybe.
yourselves.
Why are pandas the symbol of asexuality? They really should be.
Sphinx says, yeah, officials can't do anything about the clap in koalas because it would kill the bacteria that they use to process eucalyptus.
Oh.
I need you to make this STI crucial to their digestive system.
No, I love that. I love shit that happens in nature that is like so detrimental to humans but is necessary for the existence of the rest of everything.
Pandas actually do fuck, they just don't want to do it with a bunch of humans watching.
Fair. Valid. Honestly.
Well, I never really considered that. Now that I think about it,
privacy, and we'll see.
now that I think about it, I don't think I'd be able to perform either. Like if I just got captured and put into a fucking glass box with some lady I don't know. If he were just like, for the sake of your species, fuck. Like, I'm
Performance anxiety. I get it.
just like,
There is, however, one in the wild though that hasn't been caught yet that can only perform when there's an audience. So there's that too.
we just grabbed the wrong one. We needed Freaky Frank, the panda. Have y'all heard about the stingray, the pregnant stingray?
Yes.
Stingray Jesus.
Yes.
For the for those of you unfamiliar with the story, there is a stingray at aquarium that is only in a tank with two other sharks and is pregnant. And the only the only viable theories for how this happened is one, apparently stingrays may be able to mate with sharks because it was noted that there are some shark bite marks, not like killing bite marks, but like
Love bites.
love love bites on the stingray, which sharks are known to do when they mate. Um, the stingray was in an aquarium with another male stingray like a couple of years ago, so maybe
It
stingrays
was
have
8
the
years
ability.
ago.
8 years ago, maybe they have the ability to
Like hang
it's
on.
eternally store baby batter. Or um Stingray Jesus.
I mean, like ducks have multiple passages they can close off. So like maybe.
And
I don't. Did you ever
parthenogenesis
see
is
the
in his.
Isabella Rossellini green porno series? I learned everything about animal reproduction.
Oh, one more time, you cut it out on my end.
Oh my god, it was the worst time to cut out.
Yeah, say it again.
Captions got you though.
Great. There's a YouTube series, or it was like an AMC series of Isabella Rossellini dressed up as different animals, describing their mating and like sexual processes. The praying mantis and the duck, and everything I know about animal reproduction is because of Isabella Rossellini, which is risky.
I need to check that out. Oh God, I'm
Please,
seeing it here.
please.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna check this out. I, mm, I'm curious to know, and this question will go out to the chat as well. Which of these theories do you want to be the truth? Do you want it to be a stingray shark, stingray Jesus, or baby batter saver? I don't know. Personally, I want stingray shark. I think the stingrays are pissed that we have held them accountable for what happened to Steve Irwin for so long that they're just like, bet we go, and this is their weapon of mass
You want to
destruction.
see monsters? We'll show you monsters.
All right, one stingray slipped up one time, but you know what? Now it's on.
Live long enough to see yourselves become the villains.
You call us monsters, we'll become monsters. They just start mating with all of the worst shit until we ultimately get a megalodon stingray.
I hope they're in
Sharktopus.
league with the orcas. I hope they got a call in from the orcas. The orcas were like, it's time for phase 3. Let's take it to evolution. Let's expedite this. Stingray sharks,
yeah.
and let's get it moving. Let's sink another sub.
Oh God.
Fuck up some fiber optic lines.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. I just thought something terrible. And like I'm just gonna fucking say, you remember how fun it was when that submersible blew up? Like, you remember how good a time we had? Like,
That was a good party.
That's a great October.
like
Yeah.
I just keep thinking about it like, man, we really all came together when those billionaires died. And we had a great time. And it's just like, we should kill more of them. Like, we should.
Yeah, if anything beckons for a sacrifice, talk about getting in the pit, get in the sub.
We need the Bills Mafia. So we need the Bills to win every time a billionaire dies. and just let nature take its course.
What it is,
Incredible.
just let nature do its thing.
Yeah. Use this use the cult crazies to
If
clean
nature
the
wants them to
world.
survive, listen.
We just need one head of security for these billionaires to be a Bill's Mafia member. That's it. That's it.
Just gotta plant the right seed.
Put Bezos in the pit.
Or hell, like I don't know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a sub. Get them back on that track of like going to Mars. How successful could that possibly be? Get them interested in that again.
I just don't want them to be successful. I don't want to do that to
They
Mars.
will
Like,
be successful.
I, I mean, true. But if they are, like, Martians are gonna be like,
That's
"What the
true.
fuck, guys?" And we're
Mars
gonna be
doesn't
like,
deserve that.
"Well, sorry, they fucked up our planet. It's time for them to fuck up yours." Uh,
All right, fine. Send them down the Mariana Trench.
all right, but this is the Dark Roast, and we do have questions and segments that we have to adhere to. And the first one is not my, yeah, it is my favorite, which is petty prime time. If there is anything that you feel like subtweeting about in real life, this is where you can do it. Of course, we always demonstrate the behaviors that we ask of our guests, and this is purely voluntary. So, of course, we're gonna have Anita start us off with petty prime time. Anita, do you have a petty prime time for us?
Show your GMs a little bit of grace. A lot of times they're doing this with no prep, no clue, and they're just flying by the seat of their pants. Just, just be kind. Be kind to your GMs. Sometimes they're
That's
having a rough night. They need a little help. Help them out. Give them a beach episode.
I can feel the tears in this petty prime time, and I feel
I'm so tired, y'all.
oh, that's a good one. I support that.
Give them a beach episode. Let them end the session early.
Okay.
Good
Uh
one.
I have one as well. Um I want you to look at all of the subsections of nerd cultures and the hobbies and whatnot. And I want you to think of all the times shit has gone wrong in the sense of there being a predator or there being just a piece of shit person that uses people and the like. And then I want you to think, how often have you seen people like that work with diverse individuals and people of color? Chances are you'll when you do the mental math, you'll be like, not often. And there you go. All right. I'll just pay attention to the content you take in and keep in mind how many times you see that content interact with diverse individuals. If the answer is not often, you should probably brace yourself. It's only a matter of time. Um, and I'll leave it at that.
I will, yeah, kind of in that, yeah. I liked Anita's, and I was gonna be like, oh, I'll make this cute and gamey, but uh, yeah, I'll get up on a petty high horse. So here's the thing. I'm trying to get into an era where I feel like maybe I've gotten a reputation for saying shit and for being just, I can't necessarily rely on it as like the Philly thing, like I've been loud. I'm in an era where I am saying less. I'm shutting the fuck up in the interest of like other things going on. And like here's like my petty thing lately is I don't have time for the discourse in the landscape of like everything else going on. And it's been very hard. And this is maybe where I'm going to get kind of like whatever. Uh, we tell fantasy stories, we tell make believe stories, we tell a lot of stories about resistance and overcoming things. And I am less and less interested these days in like discourse surrounding that in the face of like things going on and genocide and
Yeah.
which is like a fucking bummer, which is just like not necessarily the thing that people want to hear. But that's kind of my petty thing is like less and less the kind of superficial thing. And not that everything is superficial. There are obviously things that impact people's livelihoods and jobs and mental health and relationships. And those are all very important and perception is real. Um, but I think in the vein of like, I'm actively trying to reduce my pettiness in the interest of wanting to continue in the space. Um, so yeah, in the vein of like also Anita's like be kind and not like toxic positivity kind, but like
Oh God,
actually
yeah.
fucking like, you know, be human, be normal.
I no, I really do like that. Toxic positivity. That is whew.
There's I mean to that, like there's a lot of there so it's a hobby space, it's a professional space. There are pleasantries, there is a level of niceness you have to maintain and keep up. You have to be likable, and the perception of that is like detrimental to a lot of people's careers and reputations. But you do have to acknowledge and be level about things, you
Yeah.
know.
I
And
oh go ahead.
I was just going to say that there's also a level of parasociality that has to come with the job. And that is always ugh, to navigate.
Yeah.
Especially when there's no actual, I mean, there are trainings out there for it, but how many people seek it because how many people are sure of the kind of path that this goes down, hobby, professional, and you want to kind of maintain a foot in both to keep it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I I also like how you mentioned like, where you're at in your journey in this space also kind of reaffirms and defines like how you engage in it. Like I me personally, I feel like I'm on my way out, so I'm just like, "Ah!" like, like, let me tell you why this is fuck shit.
And why not? Like I always said, if it stopped being fun, like, yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it. That's the way that, no holds
it,
barred.
yeah, and I think all types are necessary. I think and I really like I just really like how you mentioned like where you are informing your interaction because there is something obnoxious in the sense that I feel like everybody feels like everybody has to say something about everything. And some people want to, some people don't want to, and I feel like both should be respected depending on what the topic is. I feel like personally nobody should be silent on genocide. I feel like if you have the means to help, you should help. If you don't have the means to help, you should inform. Like
Yeah,
that's
you
just
can't
how that
directly
goes.
support, amplify, harass
Exactly.
your senators.
Cause I mean, like these motherfuckers are evil. Like, and the thing that I I don't know how to put this. We play heroes all the fucking time. Like we play people who fight the kind of shit that we see every day. And I have had the experience where like I will leave a game where we're fighting a genocidal monster and then the game will end and then it turns out I'm playing with somebody that is in support of stuff like this, and I'm just like, how do you not see the fucking like?
even on like an even on like a non kind of when there's a disconnect in telling these, like I've also in like certain instances recognize that stories that are being told, like I'm this is going down a path that I may be seeing connections between this and things that are going on, and it's not something I can continue to play in because it's so close to reality. um yeah, sorry. I also like COVID brain, I kind of in the middle of a thing, but yeah.
No, I absolutely get it, and it's just this was a good
but I
petty pride time.
but I've also been the person that has said a lot about like other things. And I think like my time in the space, the connections that I've made now and like the growth that I've seen, I'm like, man, I don't know where I'm going with this. Say, shut the fuck up a little bit more. There are people who can say things better than I do, and what I can do is to kind of help amplify that to the right
Yeah.
people.
I think that by and large, the space is trending upwards in terms of like compassion and social consciousness. And I just wish we would get a better memory for bad actors. Because on more than one
That
occasion, I've had to be like, hey, this is written by a person who's bad. We probably shouldn't be playing it.
I
that
I agree. I agree with that, and I also my wish would be one, we had a longer memory, and two, we would be able to tell the difference between genuine moral and ethical failings versus personal transgressions. Like there is a difference between I fucked you over because I'm a dick versus like I am I am poison to a community. You know, like every like I don't know if I'm saying this clearly, but yeah, fuck it. I'll stop being vague. Fuck it. Like I'm so tired of hearing about this D&D summit shit again. Like just stop it. Just fucking stop it. All right, just cut it out. But that's me. Anyway, that's gonna bring us to our next segment, which is TTRPG confessionals. Now I'm just bracing myself because this is where our community beats me up for no good reason. This this is where if you feel you bring a habit to the table that is not the best, this is where you can confess. We will give you your penance, and you will go and sin no more. Um, so I need to start doing like a fucking D20 instead of the cross. Anyway, go and sin no more. um, and I will start. I will start. My sin for this week, and it comes from and it comes from a recording game that has not come out yet, which is especially in comedic games, there are times where I prioritize the punchline at the cost of the plot. There's just it's I think it's the comedian in me where it's just like this is a setup that's too good not to hit. And like
Yeah, but if someone sets up the bit though, you got to go for it.
I know that's my gut. That's my gut. But like the setup will happen and then like plot. And it's just like now we're all focused on plot. But me, I'm still staring at that punchline, baby. And I'm just like, it's it's not even a need. It's like a fucking
Compulsion.
I can't
The deepest
help it.
desire.
It's like
The
quick,
bit has
we
been committed.
it's it's like you know where everybody's evacuating the basketball court because there's a bomb and it's gonna fucking go off, but
I was gonna say it's like a
daddy
cat
got
with
a
a glass
dunk.
on a table. You just gotta knock it
Oh,
off.
oh, that's
You
exactly
just gotta
everybody's leaving and I'm just looking at that glass like
gotta go.
oh,
What's doing on that edge like
that
that?
wasn't
Shouldn't be up
that's
there.
that's disrespectful. I can't just leave it there. Like,
What's it doing?
and you know, and sometimes that can fuck up pacing and it's not great. And so I can't let a good setup go. I gotta daddy gotta smack that glass.
That's a shirt.
Daddy gotta smack that glass.
Daddy gotta smack that glass.
Just a picture of a cat.
I can't believe the guests you've had on the show, and I'm here talking to you about knocking glass off tables. I
Oh, it's
didn't
all
know
good.
you.
I, fuck it, I want that shirt. If only for me now. just Then I gotta smack. Anyway, that is my sin. I will take my penance.
I'm going to say, here's my my penance to you. You've got the setup, you've got the joke, that the punchline that you want to hit. And if you can anticipate that there's plot incoming, try to time the punchline in a way that the uh plot hitting becomes uh enhances the punchline. Like it's that moment where it's just like uh it's that moment where a character says nothing can possibly go wrong and then everything possibly goes wrong.
That's that's fair. That's fair.
It's really good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Play it into like okay, so consider
Incorporate your punchline into the plot in such a way
okay.
that the plot becomes impactful and still funny.
Mm.
Make the punchline make sense.
You've challenged the comedian side of me
I
very
know,
well.
and I think that you're up for that challenge.
Mm. I like this penance, and I'll do. See, this is what I was talking about by the community coming after me. I think it was decided since Noir doesn't learn from his penance, he actually just wants punishments. What's Noir's punishment? Oh,
I'm
Sphinx.
still in it for penance.
Sphinx says penance. Ignore the next bit you come to if it does not nothing for the plot. The Sphinx. Then I gotta smack that glass.
Really close to the microphone. So close to the microphone.
Just gotta smack that glass.
I gotta smack it. Just sitting there, all disrespectful. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that glass said the N word with the hard R. I gotta smack it.
Look, it's cracked already.
There will be
There
other
will be
glasses
other
to
glasses
smack
to smack later, but I need to smack. Then I gotta smack this glass. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I will try that penance as well, Speaks. Uh, is you got a penance for me?
Oh,
You don't have to if you don't want to. It's just we open it
yeah.
up for everybody.
No, I like I like the penance of incorporating it into the story. I think it's a challenge to make the bit work for the narrative.
All right. In that case, next game, go work on the timing. Well, first, the first bit I see, I
Don't
will
bite.
I
If it
will
doesn't serve the plot, ignore it.
I will oh I will ignore it if it doesn't save the plot. The second one though, I'm smacking the shit out of that glass.
And should you come upon a third,
Hey, listen, comedy comes in threes.
You know what? I think a side effect of this is that I now relate to our cats more, and I won't get so upset when they smack the glass because I'll be like, I get it.
I
I
see you.
get
I
it.
get it.
You know,
Listen,
it was there.
I was 5 minutes late feeding one of these motherfucks. He walked into the room, saw my drink, knocked it off of the table while making eye contact with me, and then turned towards the kitchen where I feed them.
Can I talk about the defiance of cats? So my girlfriend has this goofy three-legged dog that comes around, and I've got two cats who normally do fine with it, but I have to like turn stuff around, hide their food, turn their litter box. We went out one day with the dog. I forgot to turn the litter box around. My one cat jumped onto my bed and just everywhere. It soaked everything. Had to replace everything. And it's that sort of like defiance. And then I went and turned it, and then she went and did it somewhere else, as if to be like, hey, fuck you, you'll never do that again. Gotta smack that glass.
Gotta smack that glass. Cats are such assholes, and I aspire to be that level of asshole in my just. It's not like they're doing it on purpose. That's just who they are, and you can't be mad at it. I want
We
to
wouldn't have
become
them
that.
otherwise.
I want to become that. Um, but my that is my tabletop confession. That was my confession. Oh, it's your turn, Anita. What is your TTRPG confession?
Okay, I will. First off, before I address my confessional, I am going to say that I did my penance. I took very detailed notes the last game that I ran. I have them in my notebook.
Well done. That's fucking hard.
I would just like to mention that Anita has gotten the penance of
Notes?
writing notes at least 3 to 4
It doesn't
times.
show it on camera. But
And
wait,
every
where did I
time
go? There it
Anita
is.
failed
My
to do
notes.
their penance, did nobody say anything. I get a penance and I fulfill my penance. And just because it wasn't to the letter of the law, I have been dragged ever since. In February. Yeah,
Again, reminding that there's an extra day this month. So,
it's Super Black History Month. How dare y'all?
More shoddy. Writing notes for my next Secret of Cats Fate game. Smack that glass.
I gotta say, Morshadi in the chat had the best moment of my entire life at Big Bad Con with Morshadi and Dare. It goes down as like the highlight of my interactions in the space. If I don't have any other interactions like that with anyone, I'll be fine. I'll be fine leaving the space.
Well, Shotty has an amazing sense of comedic timing. I'm jealous of it, honestly.
Just a wonderful, wonderful person.
I keep trying to get out of it. I was never trying to get out of it. I fulfilled it, and y'all kept saying I didn't. And the person that gave me the penance said that I did fulfill it, and y'all were like, "No." All
What
right.
was the penance?
Uh, uh,
The sin
okay.
was. Would you like me to recap this?
Absolutely, sure. That's
The sin was that Nor will shout from the rooftops for people to romance his characters, but the minute that it comes down to brass tacks, he bitches out.
I wouldn't use the term bitches out. I would I would say I I didn't do it because it didn't fit the plot.
The
Okay.
the penance
But
was that the next game that you play in is you will, with consent, of course, with enthusiastic consent of another player or an NPC, smooch. We got a forehead smooch. It was still a smooch. I counted it. The chat,
It was
however, had other ideas.
so you won't resist the bit even if it goes against the interest of the plot, but it won't pursue because it goes against the interest of the plot. That sounds
But
conundrumous.
I'm a complex creature of
Quandric, even.
you know
You contain
Daddy got
multitudes.
I said Daddy gotta smack that glass. Daddy don't gotta tap that ass. Okay.
I'm dizzy.
All
I think
right.
we weakened this episode.
Psychic damage on that.
You're still taking it better than Nicki Minaj.
And I always will.
Unless after this episode, you just post.
Noir
I'm gonna get
enabling
Lying on
diss
your dead
track.
mama. Lying on your dead mama. Lying on your dead mama.
I'm
Which
gonna
will be
get a bunch
very
of bards
confusing.
after me. I don't want that.
I've been in this space long enough that I'm actually offended I haven't had a diss track written about me yet. What the fuck?
Give it time.
I need to beef with Nerd D in particular. Which will surprise a lot of people because half of the scene thinks we're the same fucking person. I have to remind them, no, Nerdy is the black guy that can grow hair.
Oh my god.
many times during more than once.
I signed somebody's shit at the last Gen Con because they were certain.
Stop.
They were certain I was 30. I was like, all right, I'll rock with this. So
Sure.
somebody's got like a nerdy bullet time shirt signed by nerdy that's actually signed by no hard Nick. I just put an in, a dot, and some squiggly. So if that's the shirt you got, surprise. I mean, it's their own fault. They asked me for it in the urinal. You don't talk to another man in the urinal.
Listen,
They're like,
yeah.
they're like nerdy, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm tired. Yeah, sure. What's up?
Sure, let me zip up. Man.
I confess more than I admit to today. Anyway.
Anyways, so yes, I've been taking notes. I have 3 games which I have taken notes. Thank you very much.
A lot of games to
Okay.
take notes for.
Yes.
I just feel like people should have given you as much shit as they gave me, is all.
Okay, chat, you're allowed to give me shit for not taking notes previously. And go.
Do it. Look at them holding back, you cowards. You cowards.
But anyways, my confession is sometimes I don't want to play for 4 hours. I'm tired. I just want to have like a 2.5 hour session, 3 hour session. I'm old. I don't want to have a
So
4 hour
invalid.
session.
Oh man, that's real. That's that damn. I wasn't prepared for the realness that you were gonna bring with this confession.
I'm pushing on 40, everybody. Like, in 2 years, I'll hit that. Like,
Oh man,
35 next month. 2 weeks. I'm 35 in 2 weeks.
God, I'm hitting the age where I'm gonna figure out what kind of creepy old man I'm gonna be.
I get it though. Like you don't want to play for 4 hours all the time. Sometimes you just want a nice little like.
sometimes I want like, you know what? Let's do like an hour and a half session. Let's just get in. Let's just like do a little role play. Maybe roll like a couple dice, couple skill checks. Like I'm not big on like making my players roll all the time. Like sometimes I'll just give you stuff for free. Like
You know, I've actually thought of this. And I want to pitch something to y'all, and I would love to know what you think about it. Which is, I think that it would be really cool if for the same show there were just different types of episodes, which would be like your campfire episodes, which is just strictly role play between the characters, nothing of consequence to the plot. But you get to learn more about the characters and how they interact with each other. I would love flashback episodes where if not everybody wanted to be there that day, we could kind of focus on one character and how maybe they met another character and how they got to come to be in the party. And then you would have your full 4 hour epic episodes. So like, you know, you can kind of choose what kind of episode you want to have that day and
What
you
you
inform
feeling?
the audience.
I love that.
Like sitcom-y.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want a bottle episode.
Love a bottle episode. Give me a good
Oh,
like shopping episode, a good like tavern episode to just kind of fuck around.
I would love a court episode. I feel like that's something that I haven't seen in TTRPG that I would love to, where, you know, like how many of us have been caught stealing as our characters, and like you gotta go to fucking court.
Like a Judge Judy type situation, like
Yes!
a move through it quickly, like petty law type.
I would love that. Oh my god, like a small claims court for
Yes.
party issues.
Small claims petty shit. Arguing with like potion shop owners for rolling pretty low on that sleight of hand. Oops, now you're in court.
I just feel like every time you make good berries, I never get one, and it's starting to feel like you're doing it on purpose. Take your ass to
The
party court.
PCs get a public defender.
Like, I want episodes of actual plays to every now and then just follow the fucking It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia formula. Like the game does something. Like,
Listen, we're gonna have a fire genasi public defender, who is a para elemental paralegal.
Yes.
are you proud of yourself?
I,
I want that.
I wish I could say I came up with that joke, but I did not.
Divine Judgment, a TTRPG court show.
So my partner in
I
real
kinda-
life is a
I kinda
family
fuck with that,
attorney.
though.
And sometimes I'll bring home, like, when we had a situation where there was like a custody thing, like fantasy custody, I'll like bring to her and be like, so what would you make of this? We've got this half-orc barbarian kid who just joined the party. We don't know where her parents are. What is the ruling on this? And we'll give like legitimate, like actual applied law to these absolutely nonsense fantasy situations. But she's never played D&D.
I can only imagine what they feel or what she feels D&D is with the type of questions that you give her.
The
What?
horrendous like crimes we're committing. You know you go to jail if
Like,
you did this in real life.
Is it Marcus territory on TikTok? Like, it tells you which D&D spells are legitimate war crimes.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Shatter, that's got to be something. Fireball, no,
Marcus
it is.
Marcus territory on TikTok. He's studying law, and he goes through the D&D spell book and will tell you which spells are war crimes. Like, anything that's enchantment magic is like coercion.
Going back to dominate person. That is
Yeah.
absolutely
That is absolutely a war crime.
I don't think there's an enchantment
Really?
spell that's not a war crime.
Honestly, no.
Even the cantrip friends is very uncomfortable, especially because of how it ends.
Because what are your motives? Why can't you do that normally? What's happening? What is that? That's
You need to put me in an altered state of consciousness in order to get what you want from me? Like, that is
no, there's malicious intent there.
Yeah.
At the end of a game summary of Geneva Convention war crimes or something. Okay, but your
My
penance. I don't feel like this is a sin. I feel like this is just being old. Like, is being old a sin? I suppose that's the question. Okay, blurb. What penance can I give this? Um, and is this as a player or a GM?
Both.
Okay, so my
Yes.
penance for you as a player is I would try to work out an NPC mode with my GM, which is just like when I get tired, I'll still be at the table, but kind of consider me an NPC. Like, don't send anything my way, and I'll be able to like respond to basic shit. But like, I'm too burnt to like think of complicated stuff. So I'll give you like an NPC. Like, as a GM, if one of my players went to me like, this game it goes on too long. Can we work out like an NPC toggle where you just kind of treat me as an NPC when I get tired? Be like, sure, yeah, absolutely. Um, so yeah, I would try and work that out with the GM.
Just be like, "Hey, I'm here, but my brain is burnt out. Can I just chill and hang out and like just be a casual observer? Can we just not have the spotlight on me today?"
Yeah. In fact, I mean, it depends on how severe you want to go with it. In the sense that when I say NPC toggle, I would let the GM NPC my character and just kind of give the thumbs up, thumbs down if I agree with what they're doing. How do you feel about that? You
I
feel
like
like
that.
that's something okay?
I like that.
As a
I've
GM,
totally
though,
done stuff like that before.
yeah. I mean, like we've got to take care of each other's mental health and physical wellness. I mean, it's not like, no, you signed up for 4 hours, so you gonna give me every second of these 4 hours.
Well, and
Like,
I think too, like people are really cognizant of like it's not just your time at the table, it's everybody's time. And so
Yeah.
when you start flagging, it's like I get super tired super quick. Like I live with long COVID. Lived with long COVID the last couple of years. And so my energy for anything anymore is just zero. But you don't want to like sacrifice everybody else came to the table. It's so hard to schedule. You don't want to be like, all right, I'm calling it tonight. So I think like going
Yeah.
into that kind of idle mode is super good.
yeah, I also got the long COVID, so my energy level is just it's gone. Like I get
None.
up. It's fucking upsetting because I get off of work like I'm gonna do things now that it's my time.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Macho
Like,
Man, I got you for 4 hours of
4 hours
playtime.
of playtime. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just imagining Macho Man being my GM, and it's the greatest thing
no.
ever.
But it's in a cage. You were in a cage.
Yes.
The table is at the center of a cage.
You all meet at a tavern, and there's a lurk, and you need to deal with them. Oh yeah.
GM a session as Randy Macho Man.
I think that's going to be my penance. That's my GM
Yes.
penance.
Romancing NBCGM.
No, I like this GM penance because it's going to make sure that no one ever wants to play at my table for more than 15 minutes. Incredible. Thank you. It's a new hack for saving time.
When I saw you fight that dragon, I knew that I had to have you in my life forever. Oh, yeah.
Can you just really quickly just say, what's my mother's name?
None of you cared about me at all. Yeah, if you think that you care about the Macho Man, tell the Macho Man, what's my mother's name? Oh, yeah.
Killed by goblins right in front of me. What's her name?
What's her name? Where's my fucking dog? Oh, yeah.
The merchant only has one Slim Jim. Snap into him.
We're basically gods. Macho Man needs to teach you about physics and how it works. You see, Marisha, when you fall down as a goldfish, you go straight down, but the rock thing will at an angle. Oh, yeah. And when your little fishy body hits those spiky rocks, they're gonna snap into you like a Slim Jim.
Not
Oh
Macho
yeah!
Man Matthew Mercer.
No.
Macho Man Matthew Mercer.
Macho Mercer. How did we get here?
How did we get to this spot?
It's so completely changed. I'll watch Critical Role now. Okay.
Never again, not through the filter. Randy Macho Man Savage.
I need to get myself together. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, we got you. Do you have a sin that you would like to bring to the table?
Noir
God,
collects themselves.
so many.
Oh,
I am just a pile of sin. Here's the thing. I'm on a long-term podcast where I picked I haven't ever played a paladin before, and I still can't. Like I uh I don't understand it. I've got so many notes behind. You can't see behind my computer right now, but I've got paladins get 2 attacks. Fucking use them.
yeah.
Um uh I don't have a head for it, and now I'm sort of bound into this. So I'm multi-classing the hell out of it.
Okay.
Paladins are my favorite. I love them so much. Or at
I
least
wanted a challenge. It's a challenge.
I have a penance for you.
Okay.
Once per session, pick a skill, like a paladin skill, off of your character sheet and try and incorporate that in the game. Just one. You don't have to know your entire character sheet. You just want to get the one thing that you've highlighted incorporated into the game.
I like that. I feel
I'm
like I'm
gonna
always trying to do too much of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop on your penance and make it a little bit more specific because there is a paladin ability that I don't know why it's a resource. It's the dumbest thing that it's a resource, and it's also the dumbest thing that you have to actively activate it. Um, that being said, I'm going to combine your gift uh of describing spells, and I'm going to challenge you to use it with the ability Divine Sense. Divine Sense is very often overlooked in like, so I'm going to challenge you. Like Divine Sense lets you kind of pick up when like a fae or a demon or something is around. What sense does it spark for your character, and what, like for example, for my character, fae smell like cinnamon. So like whenever my character smells cinnamon, it's just like, are we near a Cinnabon or are we gonna have a fucking problem?
I like that a lot.
Right? Like infernal things smell like burnt brisket. Because
Yeah.
it's easy to go with brimstone, but I wanted to relate it more to food because you can imagine what cinnamon smells like, what cinnamon tastes like, what it looks like, and the same thing. So I always relate these different things to food, and also it allows for some very funny mix-ups because it might be a cinnabon, but you got this edged out paladin that's just like, I just left the Feywild, did something come with me, or am I gonna get a delicious pastry?
Managed by an archfey. The GM's in town, the general manager's here, and it's a fae.
Like it's the Cinnabon is run by the Fae. Oh no, I never considered that, and that would really fuck up a paladin that I
I mean,
have.
most Annie Anns are.
True.
Oh, they're so
That's no.
good too. It's so expensive. Like inflation has hit Annie, like Auntie Annie, harder than anybody else.
Actual crime, the worst. You used to be
I
able to get so many of those little hot dogs for nothing.
I used to get the cinnamon nuggets that you dip in the cream, which I never asked questions about.
Wait, here's another thing that I wanted to bring up. You worked in a Starbucks, right?
Yes, yes.
Also,
I
I am
served my
also
turn.
long-term tenured, and that's where like all the Annie Ann's came from. I worked in a mall,
Yep.
Starbucks, and lived off of Annie Ann's.
I worked at a Target Starbucks. So like
Condolences.
yeah. Like I either get two responses for people that worked at Starbucks. Either condolences or you weren't really about that life. Like little Starbucks. Did you
Sorry
also
for the
have a
time you
Pizza
put
Hut?
in.
It's like an Army Reserves member talking to like somebody in the act. I mean you served technically.
Yeah, it was a franchise, but like I also had to churn out frappuccinos. Fuck you.
Yeah. Right? I was out there. I had the fucking district manager up my ass because the sign.
Right.
Every I swear, I truly believe the world would be a much better place if everybody had to spend at least one summer working in customer service.
Oh, any food
Oh,
service, barista coffee service, customer service. Yeah.
yeah.
You meet the worst people. The worst people. There's this
I was
I
a waitress and barista for my sister's restaurant, and for a year and a half.
there's this
Enjoyed
lady, and
that.
I've told the story of this lady on a bunch of different shows, and I'll never forget her. Every morning she would come and get a mocha something. I don't fucking remember. I just remember it was mocha, and she wanted specifically 6.5 pumps. And so I was like, okay. And I made this thing, and like I would make sure she's watching. Hmm? 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 Huh? 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 And then, huh. Right? And I would give it to her. She'd be happy. She'd sip it, go about her business. Without fail, an hour later, she would come back and go, "You didn't give me enough mocha." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Can you remake this for me?" And I'm like,
You drank it.
Try the extra half a pump next time.
"Yeah." I would just make it for her.
Is this legitimately only sort of like control you have in your life?
I just, I like it broke it. The reason I remember it is because every day it broke me a little bit more. Because I knew she would come back, and I was just like, like with my eyes, I was pleading with her in millennial, like I don't care about this job. If you want a free one, just
Just
put
ask.
just like
Just
let me be in on the scam. Don't scam
we
me.
can help one another.
Like, yeah, don't scam me. Scam Starbucks. Don't. I'm not. I know I look like I'm Starbucks, but I'm not.
Don't
Just
let the
like,
green apron fool you. We can be in this together.
yeah, just wink at me. Just one wink would have saved like so much of my mental health. But
Here's Here's the thing. You put that empty cup on the bar next time. You turn it a certain way, and I got you. We'll do this. You can have another one. You don't have to be critical of the
yeah,
fact that
I mean, you fuck it up. If you put me in on the scam, I throw a cheese Danish your way, baby. Like let's rob these
Ah,
motherfuckers together.
I know we're boycotting Starbucks. I need to find out how to make those cheese danishes at home.
Those cheese Danishes for so I stole so many of them. I stole them by the box load because I was
oh,
responsible for inventory. So I was like, I was stealing
We
shit
never
out of them.
received them.
Like,
we
oh
used to
man,
zero everything out and donate it because they told us we couldn't.
yeah. Say
Fuck y'all.
I was giving away cake pops like candy at the end of the day.
Yep.
Like, by the
I've been
way,
making their scones at home. Yeah, go for it.
oh no, I was just gonna say. By the way, the statute those with the statute limitations or whatever, like
Yeah.
the time has passed all these crimes. You can't convict me. It's too late.
Nope. Can't prove it. If my partner number expired, if I can't use my partner number to get discounts anywhere, you can't ever prove I did it.
Uh, but honestly though, there's
No
nothing
pastry,
like
no crime, honestly.
No pastry, no crime. No crumbs left either.
No crumbs left.
oh for real, especially with those cheese Danishes. Oh, and the berry croissants. Oh, fuck.
But fuck them. You can make all that at home. I made that Valentine's thing. I'll never look back.
Uh, but yeah, Starbucks has lost $11 billion since the boycott started. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear another motherfucking soul go. Boycott
Boycotting
$11
works.
billion. Y'all want to fund genocide? Then we'll get our coffee from somewhere the fuck else. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that simple. Now I just gotta get myself to be better at boycotting McDonald's. Every now and then I slip. I, my lust for chicken nuggets.
Oh,
It's a problem.
I don't have any near me, so it's been slightly less, but
uh that brings us to our next segment. Though we got distracted by pastries and our wartime stories with Starbucks. You know what? I do have to ask, what is your worst Starbucks story? Because everybody has one.
oh my God. All right. So this is partially self-inflicted. I worked at a Starbucks in a mall, and it was like not like a franchise Starbucks. It was a Starbucks, but freestanding. And I would work Friday nights. I was in high school. It was me and this one dude who was like kind of the manager above me, but he was like only a couple years older than me. So we decided for every frappuccino that came in ordered by every teenager, we would do a shot of espresso, which was the dumbest thing I maybe have ever fucked around with in my life. And I've fucked around with a good deal. Um, don't ever take as many shots of espresso as equal to how many frappuccinos you're making on a Friday night. You will induce panic and heart pains and the fear that caffeine's a drug and am I going to lose every job for the rest of my life because I am in the back room off my tits on caffeine. So
Just,
that's
just tweaking.
maybe just absolutely gurning on nothing but blonde roast, just so that's maybe, I mean, it was self-inflicted for sure, but it's a
Yeah.
rough night.
I had that experience when I discovered what a long shot of espresso was.
Ooh.
I was just like, how far can we go? I went too far.
Into space.
You know that scene of Futurama where Fry has 100 cups? That was me. I was just like, I've become one with everything, and everything has become one with me.
That was you at breakfast the other day after the zombie.
The what now?
There, there's a cafe near us that has a drink called the Zombie. I didn't read it, and it doesn't come to you in a coffee cup. It comes to you in a fucking bowl,
Okay.
and
It
it's got
comes in a
like,
soup bowl, not a
and
small
it's
one.
and it's got like 6 or 7 shots of espresso, four, oh, no, 2 or 3 cups of coffee. Um, and it's a lot. It's too much. It
Why?
I, don't- I I didn't read it. I just saw, oh, it's called the Zombie. That looks cool. Sure, I'll try
Do
it.
you drink it like a bowl of soup?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's just like, and the one sip I had, I died, and then the second sip brought me back to life as something I don't recognize. And it was
It's
just,
almost like it's in the name.
yeah, exactly. Anita, are you looking for the Zombie right now? This okay.
Let
Like
me see if I can find it.
I don't even want to know what I put into my body. It
It
was
actually
You
doesn't
also,
have a description on the menu, unfortunately.
good.
is
I
that
don't.
because it goes against FDA regulations?
I think it goes against the laws of nature is the problem.
But
Do
it
you
But
was
have to
no,
then
also
make a
like
waiver to order it?
it was like mocha and delicious though. I had one sip and I was shaking afterwards.
It's like that lemonade at Panera that's killed people.
oh yeah, the charged lemonade. So I want to get to Panera before they take it away. I don't know that they will, but if they do, I want to get there first because I want to mix that with Malort and see what happens.
Oh, I mean, well, but actually,
Right? Like it's just like, you know what? Let's
I mean,
the world's on fire. Let's get weird.
Just open the portal
yeah,
to
no, you know what?
the Chicago dimension.
In the vein of leaning into absurdism, yeah, fuck it, why not? Go for it. Mix the malort with the,
I'm getting
the
struck like
charged lemonade.
get struck by lightning like I fucking won a duel in Highlander. Just like, oh!
You either die right away or you'll get superpowers.
I mean, I'm trying to get. If I get superpowers, I'm letting y'all know immediately I'm gonna be a supervillain. Don't like that. If you,
Yeah, because in that case, you're fucking with science. So in that case, you would wind up a supervillain. If science
yeah,
happens to you, like if you accidentally drank malort and this lemonade, different story.
I never thought of if science accidentally happens to you, hero. If you fuck with science, villain. Yeah, no, I see that.
Bruce
The-
Banner.
Mhm.
yeah, I
Yep.
just wait.
Oh,
Science accidentally happened to him. He wasn't okay. So no, I see your argument,
He was trying to
but
recreate the super soldier serum and he tried it on
but
himself.
no, he didn't try it on himself on purpose. A kid ran into the test facility and he ran to get the kid out, got the kid out, and got hit with radiation. It was an accident.
how happy is he really though? And when you look at like the happiness of superheroes and things that have happened, is he the happiest of it? Is he not like a hair away from rage being villainous?
Yeah,
True.
true. Yeah.
You know
So
what?
I think you've just solved comic books. What the fuck?
I
Oh,
didn't
wait,
come here to do that.
and you know what? Even if you think about it, villainous mutants aren't wrong and science happened to them. I this is deep. I'm not nearly high enough to have my mind blown like.
And then you get into what is villainy really and motivations, and are some villains rationalized?
I'm letting y'all know right now. If I wake up and I have Superman's powers, y'all gonna hear about it in the news very quickly. Very quick.
World War Hulk. Yeah, you're right though.
Okay, so you know what? That's a question that I am curious on. You wake up with Superman's powers. What's the first three things you do? I'm going to Washington.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm going to Rafa first.
Mm.
I'm gonna play catch with some missiles, and then I'm gonna give them back to Sid.
Yes, actually, yes.
Which
I
is
think that's the
Washington.
only thing I can do with that at this point.
I'm just gonna take one and go. I didn't want my taxes to go to this, and just leave it at the Senate and see whatever happens after that ain't my problem.
Just dropping it off.
I think you sent this to the wrong location. There were children where it was.
Return to center.
I like that there's a comic book argument happening in chat.
Oh no, what did I do?
It's like Marshadi, World War Hulk, Sphinx. Didn't that happen because the Illuminati did him dirty? Oh yeah, you're right.
And the Illuminati, full of scientists, and they did science to him, so he became a hero, which mathematically is kind of a villain.
Peter Parker, bit by a spider, hero. Yep. Green Goblin, lizard, fucked with amphibians, fucking lizard.
Doc Ock fucked with robot arms.
There you go.
Became a robot.
Do two heroes make a villain?
That gets into math, and that's above me.
I mean actually, yes. That would be Hank Pym and Janet Dine doing a science to make Ultron.
Oh,
that's a villain.
But Franklin Richards is Sue Richards, birth Franklin, which is the ultimate hero.
That's not necessarily doing a science. That's doing a sex.
Isn't a sex also kind of a science?
I mean, physiology.
Yes. It's a physiology.
It is. It is biology.
It's a kinesiology, and
I mean, there's
which
a couple
is
different
technically
functions.
under the umbrella of science.
It's art if you do it right.
Anyways.
And it's always a performance.
Always a performance.
And that's why bards are so good at it. So I want to make a Rizless bard. That's what I'm doing next.
It's a bard that just shows up to battle in like an Udi with
that's
a kazoo.
Just a guy from the 1975.
Yeah.
Just a prude Rizless bard. You gotta leave space for Peller.
He talks like an old-timey radio host.
What are you doing canoodling like that? You've got a day to save.
With gams like that? What are you doing out here?
That harbor's barely covering anything up. What's going on here? Got your bits and pieces all out there.
If a hug's not from the side, I don't want it.
Wait, you mean Alistair from Hazbin?
Pretty much, yes. You're correct.
Yeah.
That is an evil ace bard, yes.
Yes. Fully.
Oh my God, how do we end up here? I love this episode. I'm sorry.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
But we're going to push it back to...
Yes.
I was just going to say that it's about time for the TTRPG bucket list.
That is true. Is there something that you want to experience at the table that you have not had happen yet? For me, I want to jump off of a dragon and just have to figure out how to land safely. I also want to be in a long term campaign with a romance.
Ooh.
Shut up, chat. I don't even need to look at chat. I can just feel it in my plums. So yeah, that's the kind of examples that we got. So what is on your TTRPG bucket list?
Uh, I I want more romance in games. I feel like the last two games that I've played, one that like hasn't been released yet, has been very like socialist Miss Frizzle and not like disconnected socialist Miss Frizzle. And so I want more like slutty romance paths for my PCs is I think the era that I'm entering.
Mm.
I also, and not necessarily in this game, but I want a Philly by Night series. I'd like a couple, give me
Yeah.
like a couple of episodes, give me a Philly by Night. Like New York can come and play if you want, but I want a Philly coterie miniseries.
I have been trying to subconsciously will like the few Chicago by Night games that exist to reach out to me. I'm just gonna
Why
stare at the
haven't
camera.
you yet Chicago by Night games? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
what's going on? Y'all got B. Dave Walters as the Prince of Chicago. I should smack the shit out of you.
I'm not going to say that on camera, but
Oh no, not B Dave. B Dave is cool and also very tall, and he could probably beat me up. I'm talking about the people who refuse to acknowledge that a real Chicagoan should be the Prince of Chicago.
yeah, there you
I,
go.
I will challenge you all to a wrestling match. We need more promos in TTRPG. Anyway, no, I feel that, and also Socialist Miss Frizzle, like that that sounds hot. Like I'm just gonna be real with you, like.
I was so I one of my TTRPG pet peeves is when people like randomly not let me backtrack on that. I'm playing this character coming up. She's inspired by a local Philly artist who goes around yarn bombing things. This socialist Miss Frizzle in this Nightcrawlers game goes around yarn bombing bits of
Hell yeah.
organs, lungs, and so we had this artist, Rose Loretto, who a couple of months ago, out of nowhere, just put like textile boobs at this crosswalk near me, and it just appeared out of nowhere. There was just a chair made of breasts, and it was the best thing I've ever seen. And so I've got this character coming out, so ace, so like into, but she's also like a reflection of being rejected by working in a corporate environment and just wants to make art. So that's my like, but I want more romances. I think now that I've done that, I want more romances in games.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that she couldn't have romance, but
I I don't I also kind of want to play a relationship ending in a TTRPG.
I have.
Like
I've played a relationship like just after it ended right now, and it's so fun.
like just like you gotta fight the dragon with your partner that you're breaking up with. It's just like
I AJ and I are playing a divorced couple who might still have feelings for each other in our Warring Guard game. Uh,
I
and
love divorced couples.
and there's a rule against romance now in our Warring Guard. I'm the team leader as the old timer, and it is very fun. I get to be like slightly mean to AJ, but also like still kind of in love with their character. It's is
Yeah.
is good. It's good soup.
Oh, divorced couple. I was in a one shot where Austin and Jay Nala played a divorced art couple, and it. But I forgot I was playing in this game too because I was just sat there kind of watching the two of them play off each other and this divorce just blowing up, but also maybe getting back together. Um, that's a
Yeah.
dynamic I'm going to watch more play out.
We're
yeah.
dragon riders, and we're divorced, but our dragons are still bonded, and they don't know mom and dad are fighting, or why
Oh
mom and dad
no!
are fighting. So we're expecting a parent trap to come in any second now. And the
A
next episode
pair
is like a present gift giving episode, like a Christmas style episode. So it's just like Are people going to try and parrot trap us during that episode?
Oh,
Find out on Friday.
I want
I
that.
I love the idea of dragons parent trapping someone.
Parrot trapping the writers.
That's fucking hilarious. I there's a couple of relationship dynamics that I would love. I'm straight up stealing this one from I think it might have been Austin. Um, I I want to play a fallen god and their believer. Oh, that would be
Oh,
so much fucking
That's a
fun.
good dynamic.
yeah.
The one person that's still a fallen god and the one person that still believes in them.
And a God that is like ready to give up on that. The God that's like, just don't. It's find another. No, but I really like you're it. No, just find another.
Oh, that's so that yeah, that yep, that completes the dynamic. Yeah, that's what I want to play. Oh, that would
Let
be
this
so
die
good.
out.
Oh,
Yeah, I want
now
that.
I'm just adding to that dynamic in my head. Like,
Now I'm taking notes for my lists.
like what if they reject divinity in search of love? And this a relationship just ended up not working, or like when the moment the guy became mortal, they lost their partner, and then the one true believer finds them, and it's just like, oh, I want it, I want it.
I think I'm questioning if the relationship is only contingent on the faith they have or it's actual love.
Yeah.
What is
Oh.
what is devotion versus like actual like
My first streamed campaign, Rotting Shadows, I played a cleric whose deity was their partner, and she had ascended and he left him behind. And so his spell focus was his wedding ring.
oh,
And it was played in such like this beautiful, heartbreaking way that like they couldn't quite talk to each other, and they really wanted to still. And through the course of the story, at the like near the very end, they were able to have one day together before he ascended and left her as a mortal again, because
oh
only one
fuck.
can exist in divinity while the other is immortal. So, if I ever got to play in that world again, I would play the wife, and I would be a paladin instead of a cleric.
Oh, it's so good.
Uh,
Oh, I like that a lot, but also it gave me heartburn.
Yeah.
what? That's what I noticed about AP is like, what do you want out of a game? I want this game to emotionally destroy my
Oh,
whole
that
shit.
that game wrecked me. That
I
game
want you
wrecked
to
me,
hurt me in a safe way.
and it was at a time when I needed like that hurt for catharsis, and I was like, do it, Ray."
He,
It's the
he,
thing, like don't rely on your groups as therapy, but sometimes you can have some real cathartic moments.
Like my GM was 100% on board with it too.
here's my
Yeah,
emotions. Here's a baseball bat. Whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna look away for a while.
you start swinging and you just
I'll let you know when the pain's too much.
yeah. I'll check in.
Uh that so I have a question. I have you GM'd on stream? I don't know that I've seen that.
I think the real question is, have I ever GM'd?
Have you GM'd?
No. I've GM'd
Ah,
for some home groups. Well, so I have GM'd. I've never GM'd on stream because I haven't found a way yet to kind of overcome those like long COVID things I struggle with. My memory is kind of bad having multiple things up, and not that that doesn't happen as a player. But I find GMing right now with the way my head is very intimidating. Um, there were some scheduling things that got in the way. I do have a skeletons game lined up that very excited about. I've got a really good table lined up for that. And it's very rules light. It's something not as intimidating. We're not going to have to track stats. And that's, I think, what scares me, which is a baby answer. But that's what I am.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I the reason I was asking because we also ask on the other side of things, like what is your signature as a GM? But I think I'm gonna modify the question to ask you, what do you think your signature as a GM would be? Like in those moments where you're like, where if you ever consider like I want to GM, what do you feel like this is the strength that I know that I would have in face of the fears or the concerns that you would have about what you might not be good at?
I think I've had the benefit of playing with a lot of really good GMs that I would probably cobble together a lot of what I've learned from them. Um, Sierra, who is my primary GM now, who I play with a lot, is so good at setting a scene up and building a world, and then just kind of letting players do what they're going to do, engage, interact, build, and then know when to kind of rein it in. So I think that'd be the kind of thing that I would want to embody as a GM is like building enough of a space, and maybe that's the ideal of every GM is building enough of a world, enough of a space to give you creative freedom of your table that they want to give you things back. That it again creates that sort of back and forth.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I, I that's when a GM has that down just right, where they can step back and let players play. Oh, that's the sweet spot right there.
And to a point, like I think players, I definitely need a little bit of guidance. I think when you are, especially when it's streamed and you're trying to hit plot points and stories and things that you're trying to achieve, there's definitely a certain amount of corralling you need as a GM and knowing when to kind of put it back on track, but identifying kind of like your penance for tying in a bit to a story. I think a good GM can kind of tie in and see when something is going in a different direction and then kind of linking that back to where they had an idea of it to go.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So my next question for you, what GMs do you draw inspiration from when in terms of like your play style as a player or as you imagine yourself as a GM?
Uh, Celebrity wise,
Oh,
I
just in general.
I mean in general, yeah, I think in general, like again, I play with Sierra Mystic a lot, so it's a lot from that. I There's another player in my group who I haven't had as a GM, but Adam has such an understanding of rules and how they apply and how to apply that in a way that like keeps it fun for everything without it being like kind of weighing things down. But I also look to Abria in the rule for cool. I think if you can justify a thing, if you can kind of talk your way and it makes sense for a thing, I think the way that Abria incorporates that and lets it shape a story is some of the most genius work I've ever seen on screen in gaming.
Yeah.
Um, I think that's kind of who I'd embody and that sort of like yes uh, and threaten players with a good time.
That's a great segue for our we have something that we like to call the comfort blanket player, which is it's one of I believe one of the problems that we have in the space is that it can get a little clicky and Blake oh my god, comfort blanket players are folks that invite people into new cliques, new groups, and that sort of thing. And they're the kind of people that if you see them at the table, you're like, oh, because they're there, I feel a little bit safer, or I know I'll have a good time, or at least I'll have somebody to anchor on to. Do you have any comfort blanket players?
Yeah, totally. Fabian Lillet, any table I'm at with Fabian, fully safe. Austin, Jay,
Yeah.
uh, will say yes over and over to any table. SS Ambrose, fully like immediately comforted. Like, yeah.
Okay. I feel like they don't get enough praise in the space because that's how we stop clicks is by having people that others know are safe and will try and expand the scene and introduce new folks. So like it's I'm always happy when we ask that question and people are like, oh, I've got a couple. Like it's always a bad
Totally.
time when it's just like, ooh, I can't think of anybody like oh god, we need to get you around some better folks. But
No, there's people I would work with over and over again that I still like, even when I get asked, like, even though I'm friendly with, I think, a good deal of people on a professional level, when I'm asked by people that I feel really safe at the tables to play again, is one of the most like affirming things. And there's a handful of people that like I see that with in the space.
Awesome. Well, usually in the dark roast, we kind of delve in the negative and then we get to the positive at the end. But we've been very positive in the dark roast, and
Time to put a stop to
and,
that.
and we gotta stop this shit.
Do it.
We gotta bring the wholesomeness down. So if you've been in the TTRPG space for long enough, you've probably had the displeasure of playing with a that guy. A that guy is a veritable black hole of fun at the table. Somebody, if they were yeeted into the sun, your experience at the table would increase or improve tenfold. So, Liz, do you have a that guy?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how that just came
Quickness.
through the mic. Probably as ugly as it came through in my ears. So, so my like early days of playing in a home group where it was very hard to get together with my friends who had kids and like really put a bunch of time. Like I had friends that would cook. We weren't streaming, but like everybody would find babysitters and get together. There was this guy Mark who was living with my buddy, who took like railroad gaming to a whole new level. Like this guy was the main character of every session. And if the spotlight, and it's not, again, like not an unfamiliar, but it got to a point where like even after he voluntarily left the table because it stopped being fun for him, which was kind of what we were all hoping. Uh, like to mark something was a like, hey, you should maybe back the fuck, like rate it in a little bit, and a kind of calling card at the table to like I don't know, give a little bit more space. Then there's also kind of the generic guy that when I'm so all right, so to not be vague, I was at a thing with my partner a couple of months ago, and somebody who none of us knew, like they were not a friend, not a saw that I had a D&D tattoo, and we're like, oh, you play D&D? And like started asking a couple of questions, but it was to the purpose of like, let me tell you about my 30-year history playing and the games that I'm in and all of the characters I've ever played. And before you knew it, I'm there 40 minutes looking where my partner's gone. And this man is just talking at me for hours on end about his
Oh,
campaigns. And I'm like, I'll entertain it. I'll be nice. But also, man, like, ask a question.
What was the thing that I saw? It was like whenever a gatekeeper comes up to you and asks you to like or tries to quiz you, was it like, uh, tell me five? Oh, you like this band? Tell me five of your favorite songs. You just respond with, "Tell me five women that feel safe around you."
Please. Can't name a one. Yeah, no, that's that
okay.
type of guy.
I was like, hold on, hold on. I was like, okay, we're good, we're good.
Yeah, yeah.
You had to do it.
Shit. Okay. Oh.
You sat and you're good.
some of y'all might get texts and emails today like, all right, honestly, how do you feel, bro?
Hi. This is kind of coming out of nowhere, but
That's that's the most brutal take. That's the most vicious Uno reverse card I've ever fucking.
Name me
name
five D&D spells. Name me five women that feel safe around you.
God
name five
damn.
monsters from Bolo. Name five women you know who don't run screaming when you enter a room.
Name five women that have sat at your table.
They five women that have sat at your table twice.
Twice.
Name literally any femme person. Any just name name a woman. Name a femme person. Just doesn't
Oh
even
my.
have to be one you
Oh
know.
God damn. That's. I'm sorry. That's brutal. And also like to trap you in a conversation just because of a tattoo.
Uh,
And
You,
I'll talk. I'll be like,
I'm
yeah, hey.
you're a nicer person than me because man. Mm-mm.
Listen, it happened to my best friend. She had a Dragon Ball dongle on the back of
Oh
her
no.
bag,
Oh,
and this guy followed her around the con for
no.
30 minutes until one of the people at like a vintage comic book booth were like, "Hey man, you like vintage comic books, right?" He's like, "No, I'm talking." And they're like, "No, you like
No,
vintage
you
comic
do.
books, right?" And pulled him away from her so she could escape into the crowd.
Yeah, it's icky out here.
Shout out to motherfuckers that do shit like that. Like you're real one. You're real one. I I mean it's
Beat by Sander syndrome, please. Sometimes it's needed.
yeah.
Yeah,
God
thanks to
damn.
all the booth vendors that recognize that shit and shut it down.
I, I've noticed that it is a lot of the people that work at cons that intervene, which I wish it was more of the participants intervening. But you know,
You get like a sixth sense for working cons, I think, that is needed as also a participant of cons, and especially like the after hours stuff.
and also if you get the inclination to follow somebody,
Don't.
don't.
Just don't. It's so easy. Just don't fall. You just get that urge. Don't do it.
What the? I can't imagine how people think that story ends in their head. Like, oh, you followed me around for an hour and a half because I have a Dragon Ball Z thing.
And
Marry
that,
me.
kids, is how we met. No, that's not how that goes.
No.
That no, that's
Someone
how
winds up missing.
that's not how I met your mother. That's how I acquired a
That's how I
uh
required an restraining order. Order of protection, please. Thank you.
you smack my glass. No I'm kidding. I think I'm sorry. I think that is a great place to start winding it down with our final question. I didn't miss any of the questions, did I?
No,
Did
you're
I
good.
get
You're on
everything?
track.
All right.
We did it.
Which is this
Teamwork.
is our community spotlight. This is where you can shout out people that you feel safe around, people that you feel safe around in the space, people that you feel need a little bit more shine to them, like they should get more recognition than they're getting, people that you think we should reach out to and try and dupe them into coming here. I still don't know why people say yes. Just just people
I
that you
loved
feel
this.
good, thank you. Because I'm gonna skip to the next part early, which is where I say we're gonna bully you to come back. But but yeah, this is where you
Anytime.
can put the spotlight on anyone in the community you think deserves it.
Oh, there's a ton of people doing really good things right now. Just the Human, I know, is running a ton of games right now that are benefiting direct relief for families in Gaza. Please go check out where they're streaming. I think they're doing like a ton of one shots and things on Twitch until there's not a need for it. Um, I also going back to like things that we have on the East Coast. Jeff Stormer just had a huge 400 episode of Party of One, which is such a fucking incredible achievement. I want so many more episodes of success for Jeff. And then Tony at Plus One EXP has Zine Club going on. I think one of the most important things right now, especially with creatives losing jobs at the level they are, with the push for AI, is to really support indie games, indie storytellers. And Tony is running Zine Club, which highlights. None of this is sponsored, by the way. I fucking really love the things that people in my city are doing and want more success for all of that. So yeah, so go check out and support indie TTRPGs that are being created at Zine Club. Um, yeah, there's a ton of people doing good things right now. I feel like I maybe for a minute had a reputation for being like, hey, this company sucks. Don't fucking look at this company. Don't spend your money there. But for all of that, there's also like a lot of good being generated in these spaces. Yeah, support that
Support that shit.
and
Yes.
harass your senators. Fucking be relentless to your senators.
If you see them in public, razz them. Don't break the law, but razz them. Like, you know, just
I
make sure
mean,
I mean, you know,
You
I'm not
didn't
gonna.
see it.
We're
I
not
know.
going to advocate you breaking the law, but
I mean,
What
if
law is, I think, relative when you really get down to it. And let's, you know,
I mean, if somebody gets socked in their motherfucking jaw, like shit happens. Um, uh, that's awesome. I do want to. I the worst with names. There has been a charity, uh, drive for Palestine. Using I believe it's Itch. And
yeah,
there's been a whole massive issue with funds getting to where they need to go. So just be very careful. Where and it's not the people who have organized the drive. They're doing what they're supposed to. It's the company that they're
sites are
running the
really starting to fuck with funding.
yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
just if you are donating and you should be, just make sure that where you're sending your money is actually giving the money to the people that need it. It sucks that we have to call that out. It sucks that there are organizations that feed on the goodwill of people trying to assist folks that desperately need the help. But just be mindful of it. Be very careful, because people will use your good intentions for ill. That said, this has been another episode of. I almost forgot the name of our show. This has been
morning
another episode.
ritual.
Thank you. Of Morning Ritual. I've been one of your hosts. I forgot the name of the host.
Noir. The
I've
the
been
riskless vampire.
I've been your host, Noir, the Riskless Vampire. Come join me in our eternal embrace.
We got fat bong rips.
And we will rule the night together.
With the Dorito fingers.
Come spend eternity in a Udi like me with honors on them. But I've been one of your hosts, Noir. I go by he, they. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Tumblr, OnlyFans, Pornhub, the whole thing. Every Monday you can find me over on Alt Haven for Beacon, our alien show where I play a doctor with only two hit points. We're on our third season. I don't know how I'm still alive. Every Friday you can find me over on Gen Con for Table Takes where I report the news to you, or the news involving TTRPG, with fantastic host Javion, Bonsai, and Peter Atkinson, one of the founders of Wizards of the Coast. And then every Saturday morning, you can find me right back here for Morning Ritual. And on Sundays, you can find me over on Indoor Adventures, where we're playing Apocalypse Keys, and I play Judas Iscariot.
I guess that leaves me. I'm your other host, Anita. My pronouns are she, they. And you can find me here on Fridays for Warren Guard, which is currently in crowdfunding right now, and you should probably back it because it's real cool. If you back it in the next 48 hours, you get a gold dragon sticker that's like exclusive for 48-hour backers. So do it. Check it out. It's really fun. It's a good game. And I'm really excited to back it. You should too. Um, Other than that, you can also find me, well, not here, but you can find the channel open on Mondays for a show called Zero Games, which is a Forged in the Dark system that's sort of a mashup of Scum and Villainy and Court of Blades. So it's like intrigue and tournament arcs. It's really fun. And Tuesdays, you can find me over on Modifius' channel for Star Trek Adventures. We're getting ready to wrap that up. Sundays for the Indoor Adventures game where I play an Angel of the Lord, biblically accurate. We're basically team religious trauma. It's incredible. But I'm also going to draw attention to our friend Tenny is currently raising funds to actually get their family out of Gaza and Rafah. So if you have a little bit to donate, the she's got a $40,000 goal right now. They're 21% in. But if you can, donate. It's direct aid for a family that needs it. That's it for me.
And our fantastic guest, Liz, please tell the people where they can find you, what you're up to.
Thanks so much for having me. I don't know who the hell let me in, but I've had a great time. You can catch me as the Moulin Rogue with my Don Quixote fixation. Pretty much anywhere.
I'm sorry.
Everyone does it. The fact that I have just now had to start being like, it's that. Listen, I let somebody call me Lynn for an entire year. I worked at a coffee shop for a year where I let somebody call me the wrong name for a year. You think I'm going to let people in this space be like, no, I'm not going to do that to myself. You can catch me. I'm on a little bit of a kind of hiatus right now. I'm typically over on Autumn Moon Studios, where we play Utopia, a D&D podcast. I have some other cool projects coming up this summer with Bad House TTRPG. Follow them. They're fucking great. They do stuff. Yeah, more stuff coming up, but I'm kind of just amplifying stuff right now and taking it easy. But I've had a great time. Thanks for having me.
Thanks you for being here. And now you have to stay forever. Oh my God.
Great.
I stretched doing that bit and I hurt my rib. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go and I think we're going to raid our friend Sam.
Sam DeLev is playing some Baldur's Gate 3, and we're going to go say hello to them. The lovely DeLevely. Thank you all so much for stopping by and joining us. And until next time, the ritual has concluded. Bye now.
Oh, I forgot to steal the tagline. Shit.
Yeah, too bad. I got to it first.